Hey YouTube, this is gonna be a 5 games show match in between two even level French streamers called Sniper and Marinelord, and we already have game number 1 rolling, which is gonna be Arabia, and it appears that Sniper actually goes for Malians. In the lobby he had the Aztecs, but it appears that he has actually changed his mind. So here we go. Game number 1 in a Play All 5 show match in between these two players. Marinelord is a former StarCraft pro, Sniper is a French streamer and caster on even levels, both of them around 1700 DE rating, which is about like top 200 in the world right now in 1v1. Map is Arabia, and we have Sniper in blue as Malians on the left side, and it's gonna be on the southern part of the map, Marinelord in red playing as Mayans. So both civilizations are fairly decent for Arabia, very versatile. One of my favorite civs is Malians because of their versatility. A lot of options to open up with. You can go scouts into knights. You have the option to even go for like a scouts into archer strategy and then continue with crossbows until like early Imperial. You have the option to go for a Drush fast castle crossbowman play, a man-at-arms into archers play can work very well with Malians. So the versatility is definitely amazing for Malians. On the other side, Marinelord with Mayans, he is also gonna have a very versatile Arabia civilization. What Mayans could be interesting because of, and that's something I was thinking about today, is that the Mayan build order also has the loom incorporated very early on, and that allows you to go for some very aggressive walls because there is no chance your opponent's scout can actually snipe you down. Anyways, interesting lumber camp positioning over here. It could have been much better over here, of course, but the house is blocking the way, so I'm not a major fan of this lumber camp. Probably would have preferred it over here because then you have a bit more wood accessible. But overall, looking at Marinelord's map, he does have a good gold at the back, which is definitely usable. Walling this off over here on the left side is not a major challenge, I would say, but wood control is gonna be a bit of an issue. Technically, you can protect this stone, but that would require you to wall off here, here, and here. I guess your best way to wall is in between the cliff and this wood line, and that way you would be fine. Even better if you wall off here. That's a bit longer wall, but that secures you this forest, and like I said, Marinelord doesn't have a lot of wood to work with, which could be a concern for an archer-based civilization like Mayans, as apparently that zebra doesn't really want to get eaten, but, well, Marinelord will try to push it in. Seems to work for now, and as expected in Mayans, like I said, you can go for some aggressive walls. He's gonna wall off here. Looking at his vision, he has a very good idea of what's going on, so we'll wall it off over here, here, and here. Going for some early walls might actually go for a fast castle play here. When you go for this aggressive walls, fast castle could definitely be on your mind. On the other side of things, we only have 2 villagers on wood from the Sniper. You can definitely do that with Malians. Normally, you would have 3 villagers on wood if you are going for a scouts build, but with Malians who have cheaper buildings, you might be able to pull that off with 2 villagers on wood only. And that means that Sniper is going to start off with a scouts opening here. On the other side for Marinelord, he does have 3 on wood, but I don't see the 4th villager added just yet, so it's a weird start. Now, one thing I don't know about Marinelord is how well he knows build orders. I have no idea about this one. Oftentimes you see like former StarCraft players who came from different games, not having a very good knowledge on the build orders themselves. Instead, they basically use a build order they kinda invented. So that is oftentimes quite efficient, but not as efficient as the most efficient build orders could be. So I have no idea if this is intentional, a mistake, or what's the plan with this one. There is some inefficiency over there on the lady, but 3 villagers on wood is a bit low to me, to be honest, for Mayans. Anyways, apparently he does have a 4th one on the straggler, but I think this lady was just added here. But with this kind of food income that he has had, coming in with the zebras, coming in with the rhinos, he could click up fairly soon if he wants to for early feudal age aggression, but did not lure in his 2nd elephant just yet. So since he didn't do any kind of scouting in Dark Age towards his opponent, it's very unlikely that he would go for a Drush. So either a naked fast castle is in the plays or something like a man-at-arms archer's approach. For a man-at-arms archer's approach, you will probably need a villager making the barracks very soon, and it appears that Sniper has found his opponent. We'll see this secondary stone and we'll see the walls, but he's not sure if Marinelord is over here on this corner or over here, so I wouldn't necessarily call this a very, very great scouting information. This is going to be much better now for him, and he might even be able to potentially block a villager going for that elephant. Meanwhile, for Marinelord, he's looking for his opponent right now, but unable to find it. So the thing I'm looking at right now, by the way, is that Marinelord has walled this off over here, but aside from that, there's basically no walls coming up for him, and he is going to click up at 21 villagers, 22 pop. Seems to be standard, could be still Man-at-Arms archers, but I feel like this barracks is a bit too late for it. This feels more about as we are going to see the first scout lost over here to the town center. Oh man, Marinelord losing that scout is gonna cost him quite a bit. And like I said, this barracks is a bit late for a Man-at-Arms opening, so I would say this is gonna be straight archers. And even more interestingly, this elephant is super late. Now, Marinelord has pushed in 3 zebras that compensates for that elephant, but it's super weird to see that he's luring in this elephant so late. And when you are actually going for an archer's build, you need more villagers on wood. So, like I said, I'm not sure how well Marinelord knows about build orders. I know that Sniper has more H1 Paris experience. Marinelord has started playing in like November. But anyways, this mining camp is a bit inefficient here for him. Probably would have been better on this side. The problem is that there is just so big walking distance, like, that's one of the things. It's not necessarily always about the walking distance, even though you would be probably better off just tasking the villagers over here on this tile if you have this mining camp. But walling these villagers around is definitely tougher than placing the mining camp over here and putting the villagers in between the mining camp and the gold mine. So yep, the main concern here, as we're actually seeing super late militias coming from Marinelord, alongside a few spearmen. I think this is definitely surprises Sniper, who also went, by the way, for what appears to be a 19 pop archers build. Interesting approach. Not something that we commonly see from these, or from any kind of player, to be honest. Like, 19 pop seemed like a scout's build, but it appears that Sniper is just gonna change his mind and go for the archers here. There's going to be some housing issues for him, so he's gonna cancel out that villager and go for wheelbarrow. So Man-at-Arms coming in here from Marinelord, and along with it there is going to be a spearman. This would be perfect against the scouts opening, but this is not a scouts opening. And because Sniper didn't really wall himself, these villagers will be quite exposed here, and Man-at-Arms timing will be perfect on this one. Sniper is in danger of losing a villager over here. I don't think that he's actually going to lose one because there's nothing to block this one, but pushing away a few villagers from those berries definitely hurts Sniper, as he doesn't appear to have any kind of walling on the northern side of his base, so these lumberjacks will also be exposed. I would think he's too highly ranked to not know build orders. It's interesting, like, for example, if you take a look at Huang is also high rated, and he doesn't really know build orders that well. So, when you have a very good gameplay skills, you might be able to compensate for the fact that you have a weaker knowledge of the build orders. I'm not saying he doesn't know build orders at all. I'm saying that the very fine details might not be there for him just yet, and that's not something to be ashamed of. It is something that comes with experience, so you need to learn a lot to really master all these build orders. Like, sometimes even... I'm not saying that pro players having problems with build orders, but I want to trace it back to even NAC3, when Hera had to check the Turkish tech tree itself, because he wasn't even sure what kind of units he had with Turks. So even very experienced players sometimes have some trouble with the tech trees. This is something that comes with experience, and you can't just rush it. Of course, you can learn build orders, but it requires a lot of practice. So, yep. Anyways, Marinelord, he will have to run away with the Man-at-Arms. I'm not a major fan of this one, to be honest. At this point, you don't gain anything by having these Man-at-Arms back at home. It's more about trying to do damage to your opponent, so I think he could have harassed them with a lot more villagers here on the wood line if he just stays aggressive. Saving these Man-at-Arms will not help you in the long run, as he appears to go for full skirmisher approach here. So, this is the moment when you are going to see full skirmishers as Sniper, and he will probably start adding scouts into his army, because Malians will definitely be a cavalry civilization late game, so a cavalry switch would be nice at some time, and when your opponent is going for full skirms, cavalry switch is definitely something that you consider. Marinelord walling his left side of these are some nice walls from him. Wood control will still be an issue, but aside from that, he's going to be fully walled here. So I would say his base is quite okay right now. He has 33 villagers compared to 29 of his opponent. We're at 15 minutes already. Of course, he's Mayan, so he is supposed to have extra villager. But yeah, this is supposed to be a civilization that has Farimba cavalry. Anyways, no fletching just now for Sniper. He's gonna go for it right now. And the other thing I'm noticing is that he's also doing just a single range, but he has a consistent archer production, and I think this range was a bit later from Marinelord, meaning that he doesn't have the skirmisher numbers right now. And his woodlines, like I said, are dangerously exposed, so losing this woodline could cause him a lot of headache. He could still fall back to this one, but the problem is that I just don't see him being able to protect these villagers. Not a lot of archers here for snipers, so he might not be able to pick off a villager if Marinelord reacts to this one. React, please. Oof. Run, my man. Okay, this is the time we will fall back into this wood line. That is something that you have to do. And meanwhile, there is going to be a nice shot from the spearman on the scout, so the scout is also very low HP. No scout switch coming in here from Sniper, he's gonna wall himself off. Lots of skirms inside the base here for Marinelord, but he's gonna have to fight this one. This way into his base is wide open, and the gold miners are dangerously exposed. So this is the time when you will have to fight this one. There is the skirmishers coming inside, +1 attack and range on both sides, so fletching is there for either player, but there is no archer armor. Archer armor coming in here for both players, and Marinelord has a slight edge with the archer armor. That villager is dangerously exposed. That could be the first villager pick of the game. That is correct. There goes the villager, but in return to this one, Marinelord could just absolutely massacre this army here. Now he has the advantage going with the armor, so right now Sniper is waiting for his armor to arrive before he actually engages this one. Picking off a villager though definitely helps the case of Sniper here. Let's not forget, Sniper did wheelbarrow at the beginning of Feudal Age because he was housed, so having just 2 villagers deficit against Mayans is definitely something that is quite okay if you have done wheelbarrow and your opponent has not. So for Marinelord, what are we seeing here? House right next to the stone mine, not something I really like because this will block your future stone miners, but he's gonna clean up the army here from Sniper, and he could actually go for a counterattack very, very soon here. Let's see, his resources are still far away from being able to click up to Castle Age, and same is the case for Sniper, as indeed the cleanup is going to happen here. So now is the time for Marinelord to do damage though. He does have the military superiority, he needs to go forward, and there is the stable I was expecting from Sniper, and that's something that Marinelord has to expect. When you go for a skirm heavy approach, you will need to add spearman into your army, because pike and skirm will probably be your composition here. And the response to that from Sniper would probably be Mangonels in Castle Age, but that is still far away. Anyways, 12 kills for Marinelord and just 5 deaths, so that's something to take a look at. But Sniper apparently will be fully walled, even though, well, never mind, wide open on the left, and that is the worst part to be open at, because that is your gold mine, which is so crucial for you. Now Marinelord, he does not see that gold mine, and that is a critical piece of information missing for him. Like I said, he lost his scout early on, and that really hurts him now, because had he seen this gold mine, he would just attack there. But you will definitely need to push with this one. He has invested a lot into his Feudal Age army. And I would just say, try to bash your way through this layer of palisade here. You have 3 men-at-arms that can definitely do that, and skirms will deny second layering, or just walk around. If you right-click inside your opponent's base, these skirms will definitely walk around. You have 3 scouts in here for Sniper that should be enough to dispatch this army. Men-at-arms will do some damage here to the scouts, but as long as there is no spearman coming for Marinelord, this army is dangerously exposed. Let's see, he could find the gold miners though, click up to Castle Age from both players, as there's a bunch of archers from Sniper, but that will not really protect his base. And this could be crucial for Marinelord, because he is going to snipe down all of those skirmishers apparently. Scouts coming inside, no extra armor on those guys, and like I said, the man-at-arms might be enough to hold these scouts off for the time being. And it appears that indeed the spearman will arrive. Now, for Sniper, he's gonna have to snipe off, well, with that name, that is a must, but he's gonna have to snipe off that spearman and then engage with the scouts. He needs to win this fight, and then he's gonna have the advantage. He will have a bunch of archers. Marinelord can't afford to lose his skirms, so I like the choice of just running backwards. Now, those scouts are dangerously separated from those archers, and that spearman could definitely land some shots on them, but that's a beautiful move there from Sniper. Pick off the spearman and then engage in close combat against those skirms. I fear that Marinelord is going to lose most of his skirms over there, which could be a disaster, because then he's going to face what appears to be a double stable knights approach from the Malian player, alongside potentially about 10 crossbows able to harass your wood line. You don't have a lot of good wood lines to work with, by the way, so at this point this is looking very grim for Marinelord. Not a bad start from him, but losing that scout early on definitely hurts him, and he wants to continue with archers and skirmishers. Interesting idea. He's fully walled right now, but still crossbows can get through these walls fairly easily. So Elite Skirm will probably be a must for him, and I would say something like Elite Skirm and Monk is what I'm thinking about. But Mayans don't have redemption, so Monk defense against a potential forward siege or crop manganose approach is gonna be tough. There is going to be a house coming up here to second layer this one. This will not stand for long. Indeed, it's very unlikely that you can actually do this one over here. This is a much better idea though from Marinelord. Indeed, bigger building means that you can block off more space, but with crossbowmen available now for Sniper, soon to be Botkin Arrow, this is gonna be tough. There is crossbowmen and Elite Skirm coming in from Marinelord, but yeah, there's Botkin Arrow coming in for him as well, so he might be okay with this one. Gold miners, he will probably have to evacuate that gold mine though, because that is more than exposed. Sniper knows it's there, and yep, you need to run away a bit faster. When you see those guys getting through your walls, you have to run away. You can't be this greedy. Having some idle time on your villagers is still better than losing 2 weak villagers over there. You don't lose villagers like that, you shouldn't do that. Just run away. Even idling some of your villagers or chopping trees with them is much better than losing 8 villagers here in the process. Now, the same thing happens again. Sniper will pick off a few villagers, but he's gonna lose his entire army in the process. Especially the spearman cleaning up those scouts was a bit nasty. So this is a beautiful move though, and apparently we do have an overchop over here from Marinelord. There is the crossbows moving inside, and I think this is over for him. Crossbows coming from all directions. There is Elite Skirms, and this is a very skirm heavy approach here from Marinelord, and that means that Sniper will just go for the Knights very soon. There is indeed the Knights coming up. Interesting thing that he's doing a defensive siege workshop. Would have made an argument for dropping your siege workshop over here and go very aggressive. Second TC will come up though, and you already have the 2 free town centers for Sniper. This is gonna be very tough for Marinelord to handle. Certain villagers advantage for Sniper here, and with that, this TC is denied. This TC goes up, but when you have certain villagers deficit, when your opponent already will have knights in your eco, even though these knights are not very well upgraded, so you would need +2 armor to make sure that those crossbowmen cannot snipe you down. But yeah, this is gonna be an uphill battle here for Marinelord. He was very heavy on stone for a second, not sure what happened. I think he's gonna go back to the gold mine over there, and he's gonna TC that gold. I like this TC quite a bit because it secures this gold mine here at the back as well, but you will need more crossbows to do this. You don't have any kind of gold for it, and I don't think you actually have market. So Marinelord should have sold a bit of wood, so he gets a bit of a gold, and he can pop out a few more crossbows to deal with those knights. That way it could have been manageable. For now though, he's gonna be fully walled. I'm not saying it's impossible for him, but definitely very tough. The other problem I'm seeing here is that he will not have a wood line that is actually safe, and there is the GG coming up from him. So having the TC on the stone is nice and everything, but the problem is that wood control is definitely an issue for his base, and you don't have a safe wood line that has a TC on it. So not a bad start from Marinelord, but Sniper definitely proved to be the more experienced player. Something that I did expect. Sniper is a much more experienced player than Marinelord. He had some flaws in his build. In fact, the 19 pop Malian archers is a weird approach to what we are seeing here. And the other problem I was facing with Marinelord is that he has invested into man-at-arms way too late. If he does that a bit earlier, that could have been nice, or just don't fall back. That was the other thing. He managed to idle some villagers in the berries. His start was actually quite decent. Sniper had no answer to those man-at-arms early on. He could have actually pressed this wood line over here and potentially pick off villagers or just idle a few. And that could have allowed him to cripple Sniper's eco at least for some time. So I would say that there was a bit of an issue with that. And the other problem was the fact that this wall wasn't finished when the archers from Sniper arrived. That was also a crucial problem here for Marinelord. Anyways, looking at the stats here, the KD is quite even for the 2 players here, but eco is much better for Sniper, especially the gold count. 2,600 gold against 800 only from Marinelord. His gold mine was just harassed all game long, partially because of the fact that the left side of the base wasn't fully walled when the archers arrived. And 62 villagers compared to 44 is also a major difference in between 2 players. Anyways, this means Sniper is going to have 1 game over here, securing him 20% of the total prize pool, and you will have 4 more games upcoming over here in between these 2 players. So, just to take a look at what we have seen, I can definitely tell that it appears that Marinelord wasn't specifically learning build orders himself. He was trying to observe what pros do. So, like, the man-at-arms opening, the population counts is okay, but that barracks was late, and that makes me believe that he doesn't have the perfect timing, but he knows what he's supposed to do approximately. It was still weird because he had very little villagers on wood. Pushed in the deer, that's very nice. However, it doesn't really matter if you don't lure in your second boar or elephant or whatever. But, anyways, so pushing in the deer only helps if that gives you an additional boost, but replacing the villagers on, what is that, boar, with villagers on huntables like zebras will not help you at all. So that was a bit of an issue over there. Anyways, hideout, no holes in walls. Yes, I guess. So they are setting up game number 2 right now, and what is going to be the map? There is going to be Arena, Hideout, Golden Pit, and Team Islands being played. And it appears that we are going with Team Islands right now as game number 2 in between these two players. So we are gonna have a chance to take a look at the war plays from Sniper and Marinelord. I think war maps definitely prefer or the more experienced player, so I would give the edge here to Sniper, but we will see what Marinelord can show us. You are jab-baited, definitely jab-baited, to be honest over here. So I don't think that the maps are actually listed according to what order they are being played on in the AoE zone post, so this is why you got jab-baited, but we're definitely going with Team Islands here for the next game. Anyways, I think they are set indeed. They are set, and this means that we are going to go for the next game here. Team Islands, game number 2 in between two high-level French players, Sniper and Marinelord. Sniper is also a caster himself in French, and we are going to have an interesting civilization matchup over here. Sniper is gonna be on the northern side of the map in blue playing as Vikings, and on the south is gonna be Marinelord playing as Italians in red. So the thing is that Italians is the more conventional 1v1 civilization here. So I would say that normally I would give the edge to Vikings here though. So execution is going to be crucial, because what I expect Marinelord to do is go for a standard galley rush with Italians. On the other side of things, Sniper can do two things. Number one, do back dock fast castle longboats play. Number two, side dock galleys play, and that way fight it in feudal. But I definitely think that Sniper is going to do at least a bit more passive docks. If he goes for forward docks, that's suicide against Italians, so you will have to do either back docks or side docks to make it happen very well. But I feel like if Marinelord knows what is going to come up at him, he can definitely counter that quite well. So if he knows that, hey, with Vikings, if you go for galleys, you will have side docks. If you go for fast castle, you will have back docks. Then he knows how to counter that one. So he's going to see if Sniper reaches feudal age approximately at the same time as he does. If Sniper reaches feudal later than him, then he knows that, hey, my opponent is going for a fast castle play, he's gonna have back docks. And yet again, that's a question from me. I'm not sure if Marinelord does have the experience about such minor details to notice what his opponent is doing. Like I said, I've never actually seen this guy playing in real, and since he doesn't have a lot of AoE 2 experience, I think he's playing since November only, these are some minor details that he might not actually notice. This is definitely tough to notice, and it takes a lot of time, especially observing pro games, to really master such minor details, to notice that, hey, your opponent is fast castling because he's a slower feudal age time than you. But I would say that for Sniper, fast castling is definitely a dangerous option over here because Italians can land him quite well, so I wouldn't really say that this is a good option. I would expect him to go for side dog galley opening, and if he can mass galleys, that is going to be a much more lethal force compared to Marinelord's Italian fire galleys. However, if Marinelord can be very aggressive on war and push Sniper before he can actually mass galleys or go for longboats in Castle Age, he might be able to win war for himself and have the upper hand in this one. So Team Islands don't have neutral islands in the middle. Instead, I think there is a bunch of huntables that have been removed with the latest patch. So in previous patches, for Definitive Edition, Team Islands had a lot of huntables on each player's islands. Now it is just the standard amount of zebras, maybe even one zebra less, but regardless, there is no extra boars, there is no extra huntables anymore on Team Islands. Looking at Marinelord's map, I don't like the fact that all three of his gold piles are clustered together on one side. In case of a landing from Sniper, this would be a disaster. There is a fourth gold pile over here on the northern side of Marinelord's map, but this is also very exposed to water aggression alongside this stone mine as well. I'm gonna talk about that stone mine a tiny bit, I think, in a second. This stone mine, somewhat exposed, but it's quite okay. The other stone mine at the back is quite nice as well. For Marinelord, a bit difficult to bush deer for him here because it's right next to the forest. Anyways, side docks from Sniper, indeed the galley opening will actually happen for him. It's not a beautiful dock in terms of the distance to the deep fish here. It's somewhat unlucky for Sniper. Of course, he cannot see the deep fish, so it's just random luck. But he was unlucky this time with this dock here. His stones are all on the left, which could also be exposed in the case of a landing. And what's even more concerning is that at least one of his key gold piles is dangerously exposed to water aggression. So with war galleys, you can definitely deny this gold, and that could be an awfully big issue. In fact, the back gold is also quite exposed. Meanwhile, this gold is quite nice, and he's a fairly thin island on the right side. There's a bunch of crocodillos, which could make landings a bit harder, but these wood lines, this gold, this stone is all exposed to war aggression later on, which is going to be a bit of a problem here. Anyways, eco numbers are quite even, I would say, even though it appears that Sniper does have one extra eco now, but it is just a delayed villager, I think, from Marinelord. Maybe he had some minor idle time. Anyways, I do expect a click up very soon from both players because, well, we're already quite late into this one. Indeed, Sniper is going to do Loom here. That's more about just preventing any kind of major damage that would be caused by a landing. And he's going to look up at 23 eco. Right. That's some idle time here for Sniper. That's not something... He needs to force drop off that food because otherwise this will not be enough. And he apparently doesn't have enough food to do this. That's a bit sloppy from him. Indeed, he's gonna fall behind in feudal age time because of that. Had a lot of idle time on that town center, unfortunately for him. Something was wrong with his food eco. Oh, he didn't lure in his second rhino. This is why he's missing out on the only tile that has his own rhinoceros. And since rhinos are much faster, because they're actually boars realistically, and hunt is much faster than sheep, you were supposed to have enough food to click up, but if you don't find your second rhino, that is going to be delayed because sheep is definitely slower, and also you have basically consumed all of your sheep, so... Sniper missing out on that rhino is very, very unfortunate. He almost has perfect scouting, look at that. He basically scouted his entire base, but even pushed in a few zebras to decrease the damage caused by this one, but his food eco is not going to be magnificent. Anyways, triple docks, galleys opening, and Marinelord is going to go for scouting here with the fishing ships. That's not something that you often see in pro games, because normally you're still fine without the fishing ship scouting and just have it on eco, but I would actually like to see now Marinelord pushing these docks quite hard, because initially your fire galley numbers are supposed to be much stronger than the early galley numbers of your opponent. As Marinelord will have his second dock a bit delayed, you were supposed to have this dock up by the time you reach feudal, so you can go double dock fire galley approach here. But he knows where the docks are from Sniper, and like I said, in low numbers galleys will struggle against fire galleys. Once Sniper has something like 6-7 galleys available to him though, he's going to be able to push this one back. Still, his food eco is a question to me. He's going to have the berries available, but the fact that he has missed out on one of his rhinos will probably mean that he will have to add farms a bit faster, especially if he loses his water and loses his fishing eco. And when you have to add farms earlier, then, well, you're going to have a worse wood eco. But anyways, one of the fancy advantages here from Vikings is that they already have the wheelbarrow researched for them because it's free. So Vikings land eco is gonna be quite nice, as it starts with. And interestingly, Marinelord is just patrolling his ships over here. Is he moving out? Okay, he's moving out now. He needs to realize that he's facing Vikings, and against Vikings in early feudal age, fire galleys versus galleys, you have to be very aggressive. You just need a few fire guys to push back his galleys and destroy his fishing eco, but especially after committing a fishing ship to find his docks, you need to play this aggressive. You can't be defensive on this one because that will just allow Vikings to mass a big fleet of galleys, and that way you will not be able to hurt them with fire galleys. And it appears that we are going to have a galley switch coming up here from Marinelord. I don't like this. Basically, he had one of his fishing ships idle because he was scouting with it, but didn't get any gain from it, like sniping down any fishing ships or being very aggressive with that one. Meanwhile, for Sniper, he had 3 fishing ships working and he has an untouched war eco, so I would say that if you go for a fishing ship scouting like that with Italians against Vikings, you really have to use your initial fire galleys and start engaging the opponent's fleet very soon. Now, interestingly, Sniper is going to loop all the way around his island. Not sure what he's planning, to be honest, but this is probably not the best decision he can make. 3 galleys are quite exposed to fire galleys over here, especially considering that your fishing eco is even more so exposed against the fleet of your opponent. Like I said, 2 galleys will not protect you against even 3 fire galleys, let alone 2 additional galleys being added to it. So I think now it's the time for Marinelord to do damage. Pick off those 3 fishing ships. They are not seeing their opponents closing in just yet. Indeed, they will just spot them now. And this is the time when Marinelord could definitely make some major damage. Those fishing ships will go down super fast. Indeed, one is already dead, and I think there is going to be the second one as well. Nice micro there from Marinelord. Picks up the fishing ships, and now he's gonna be more than happy to switch into galleys himself. He has a consistent galley production, which is very important. There is going to be the market coming up for him. 3 galleys coming towards his own fishing eco, but I would say Marinelord does have a major advantage in this one. I will make an argument for engaging this one. 5 galleys against 3 fire guys and 2 galleys is not something that Sniper should be able to win. No demos coming up from either side. Like, I don't blame Marinelord for doing no demos because he is not facing any fire galleys, but maybe one demo could be something that could be justified from Sniper. But anyways, it appears that Marinelord does have a way larger fleet over here available, and Sniper just goes for a fishing eco. That's not something that you are supposed to be doing here, because yes, he's going to pick off a fishing ship here, but in reality he has just lost 2 galleys for 1 fishing ship. As I always say on war maps, when I did talk to Dogao, he always says that as long as you have a chance to win war, you have to engage the opponent's fleet. Once you have no chance of winning war, you will engage his fishing ships. But basically, Sniper has wasted 2 galleys here, which could be very important in this fight, for example, because if Marinelord can just outmass him with fleet here, that means that Marinelord will indeed win war. So losing those 2 galleys here could definitely hurt Sniper. Anyways, one thing that stands out is that Marinelord is missing fletching from his own galleys, and that makes them a bit less efficient compared to the ones from Sniper, which is quite a cause of concern, to be honest, especially with the market up already for Marinelord. Probably, if he goes for the disorderly galley switch, it should have been a blacksmith first, and then go for fletching, and then just go for the market. But anyways, he will need that fletching, and let's see, Sniper is just gonna go for fishing eco. This is actually good for Marinelord, because he can destroy the opponent's fleet, and if you destroy your opponent's fleet, you will have naval superiority and you can just rebuild your fishing ships, while your opponent will not be able to make more fishing ships because, well, he doesn't have water control. But still, missing fletching on those galleys is a critical issue here for Marinelord. He's also making additional houses here on the left side. His gold mines are dangerously exposed, like I said, but a TC over here will definitely help him in the later stages. For Sniper, I think he's still missing out on the Rhino. Nope, he sees it now, but he's probably like, oh yeah, I don't want to lure it in just yet. The thing is, though, he had to add a lot of farms, as you can see. He already has like, how many is that? 9 farms compared to what appears to be 10 farms from Marinelord. Interesting that he's not committing a bit more to berries instead of adding that many farms, to be honest. But anyways, the only thing that is missing from Marinelord right now is fletching, but that's a critical upgrade missing. So if he had fletching, he would just easily win war at this stage. But without fletching, this is quite open, I would say. Sniper could easily win this fight. He knows he has fletching, he will probably see it on his opponent's galleys. Marinelord, not so much. There is fletching coming in here from him right now. Still, numbers are even on the wars, but having a few fire galleys in combat definitely makes it easier for Marinelord. He got pick off that galley over here, that's a very nice pick off. And once he has fletching, he can definitely engage this one. Meanwhile, right side also Sniper coming in with a few galleys. And this lonely fire fishing ship is still exposed to those galleys on both sides. 11 galleys here for Marinelord and 11 for Sniper, but you also have Marinelord having a few fire galleys, and like I said, those are very, very tanky and deal awesome damage here to the galleys, and that's exactly what you need. Look at that. All of those galleys going down here. You just need some kind of a meat shield here from Marinelord, something that tanks a bit of an arrow fire from his opponent's ships, and now he's going to be able to push this one. Castle Age click up happening for Sniper. That is a bit interesting considering that Marinelord is actually Italian, so he could click up a bit cheaper than his opponent does. He's gonna be about 13% behind, which is not the end of the world, and he could still engage this one here. Still, for Sniper, he's going to have to switch into longbows at some time. On their side of things, for Marinelord, this will have to be a war galley play very soon here. And that's a lot of galleys, 4 dock being added by Sniper. He has 13 galleys against what appears to be just 9 and 2 fire galleys. This doesn't look like a fight that can be taken by Marinelord. And we are going to have a retreat indeed coming in here from our red player. So, for Marinelord, he will probably have to continue producing additional galleys. I would probably give up on the fire galleys approach now because your opponent will have longboats, and I don't see how he could engage longboats with fire ships. So it should be just pure war galleys for him. 4 dock could definitely benefit him right now because it is going to be 4 docks from Sniper, even though Sniper doesn't have a consistent production on all 4 of them, so having 4 doesn't really matter that much. And there's the demo I was waiting for Sniper. Still, for Marinelord, he has enough galleys to just pick off that demo very easily, so I wouldn't actually think that it can do a major damage. Eco numbers are dead even for the 2 players. There is 1 extra for Marinelord, which is just a single fishing ship here. There's the demo coming inside, and it appears that Sniper just wants to hide it for now, wait for the engagement, and then run in with that demo when he can do damage, like right now. Nice reactions there from Marinelord, picks off the demo, and now he can engage this one better than ever, indeed. Especially with Sniper not microing away. There is Castle Age there for Marinelord, so he needs to decide if he wants to wait until he also has Castle Age and the upgrades, or engage before War Galley would arrive for Sniper. He's gonna retreat for now, and we are going to have an early careening coming in, but I'm somewhat puzzled by the fact that War Galley is queued up behind the galley here, so War Galley is gonna be a bit delayed, but once you have careening, you will have a decent advantage against the war galleys of your opponent. You will still need to fall back because you are behind in your time towards war galley and botkin arrow. Especially war galley missing is gonna be a crucial problem here. You just need to run, it's fine. Especially with careening arriving, you are going to have the advantage on war. It's gonna be 17 galleys against 16, but you need to wait until you get your war galley upgrade. Now he can start engaging this one though. Turn back, and it's time to fight. And this one, definitely in the favor of Marinelord. He has some fire ships that can tank a lot of arrow fire, and more importantly, with careening available, his war galleys are definitely much better than the ones from Vikings, even though Sniper apparently got careening for himself very soon. Marinelord early ballistics for the University arriving for him. Again, he needs to wait a bit, because if he's investing into ballistics, he wants to utilize that, and he does not want to lose his fleet before going for ballistics here. So I would say wait a tiny bit until you get the ballistics, and there's going to be 2nd and 3rd town centers available. I don't like this from Marinelord, I will go for that in a second, but with ballistics now available for Marinelord, this is definitely a much better fight for him. And Sniper doesn't really have the chance to engage this one. He's gonna pick off the fire ships, but Marinelord can easily start pushing forward. Even better for him, he does see that tile of the gold mine. If he notices that gold mine, he could be like, hey, is there any villagers over there? Because right now Marinelord could just camp this gold mine and start harassing villagers from Sniper. Picking off 2 or 3 gold miners and idling a few could definitely help out quite a bit here from Marinelord, but I'm not sure if he's going to do that, to be honest. That is something that players forget about sometimes, but he definitely sees that gold mine and he has the chance to kill villagers over there or just idle that. But for now, with the ballistics available for him, he's going to be able to beat Sniper here in the war combat. 14 war galleys compared to 18, so Marinelord does have the advantage as more ships are sailing in here for Sniper. Sniper also has University up, as he's playing with 1 town center as compared to 3 town centers of his opponent. So the reason why I don't like those town centers from Marinelord is exactly what I said before. All 3 gold mines on the left side, and you don't have a town center on this. Either this one or this one is unnecessary. But you gotta protect your gold mines. Leaving them that exposed would basically mean that if Sniper lands with 5 crossbows, you lost the game, because there is nothing that you can do to protect your gold mines. Having all 3 of your gold mines clustered together and not having any kind of defense over there is a very, very big concern. So I would have liked to see at least one town center over there. But anyways, Marinelord will have the eco advantage in this one, and he also has the advantage in fleet numbers, I do believe. He will need to micro those ships though, because some of them are targeting the dock, and that could mean that he could lose this water combat. He needs to target those ships, come on man. Just target the opponent's ships here, you don't need to destroy that dock, you need to destroy his opponent's fleet. 19 ships against 22-0 from Sniper. This is the moment when you really have to think about, hey, even if I lose my fleet I should be fine. Because Marinelord does have the better eco, so he could just trade off his fleet to the one from Sniper. Sniper not switching into longboats as of yet, and it appears that Marinelord is going to be retreating very soon, adding a few more fire ships. Still, he's not contesting this gold mine, even though he definitely has the water control to do that. So, like I said, all three of these gold mines dangerously exposed. This is not something that you want to have. It's nice to have this TC over here on the wood and stone. I definitely love this one, but I don't think that this is necessary. This should have been over here in between these two gold piles, in my point of view. Anyways, dock number 4 coming in here for Marinelord. And did he cancel ballistics before? Don't tell me he cancelled ballistics before. He definitely did start researching it. I did see it in the queue. Oh, that's sloppy then. If he accidentally cancelled that, that's horrible, because he did engage before having ballistics. And when you make a university early, you want to have ballistics available, so oof, that was a bit sloppy. And there is Imperial Age click up, single TC Imperial from Sniper. Not a horrible idea. When you only have one town center, you will have limited villager production, and that means that you will probably save up most of your food that you're collecting. And that means that you will have a fast Imperial. You can probably get Galleon for yourself very soon alongside Bracer. On the other side of things though, Marinelord will have the much better eco, but he's still far away from clicking up to Imperial. So this is going to be tricky, because Marinelord will probably lose war if he doesn't click up into Imperial in like 20 seconds or so, because there's no way he can hold against that many Galleons. On the other side of things, he's going to have a much better eco by 14. The problem is going to be that, sure, you have the better eco, but it's Vikings, and if there's a landing coming from Sniper, like I said, these gold miners are dangerously exposed, and when your opponent has full water control, a landing is definitely something in consideration for the player with the water control. Anyways, finally, the war engagement does happen over here. I don't like that Sniper is engaging this one. When going up to Imperial, he's going to lose most of his fleet over here. This is perfect for Marinelord, because, well, you would just pick off your opponent's fleet before he would be able to upgrade them, so this is a perfect engagement. In fact, he needs to press on with this one, or just go for the villager harassment. He still cannot see the villagers over there. That's very unfortunate for him. He shouldn't push this one. In reality, he should just camp here and kill the gold miners. Of course, there's more gold mines available, but that's some idle time over there for Sniper if he needs to relocate his villagers to the other gold. Anyways, Sniper trying to escape here, but he's gonna take some severe beating on his fleet. I don't know why he engaged when he knows he's going up to Imperial. He needs to wait until he gets into Imperial in order to make sure that his war galley numbers will not fall down before he would get into Imperial. Now, with Imperial arriving though for Marinelord, I think he needs to trade off his army here. He should know that, hey, my opponent is upgrading to Galleon now, I need to kill this fleet right now or fall back. But since he's so far behind in terms of Imperial Age time, he will not have the chance to save his fleet most likely. So just engage this one, pick off as many ships as you can before your opponent will be able to upgrade them to Galleon. Is this the dock? No, this is not the dock that Galleon is being upgraded on, but just kill the ships here, man. If you trade off your ships to war galleys of your opponent, you're gonna be perfectly fine, because you should know that you have the better eco, you are 3 town centers. When your opponent is this fast going into Imperial Age, that is probably a 1 town centers play from him. And indeed, you have to engage this one. Galleon, still not ready. Still could be a good fight here for Marinelord, I would say. In fact, this is a horrible fight for Sniper. Losing a lot of ships before Galleon upgrade would arrive. Now it's Galleons though for him with Bracer. This is not the time for Marinelord to engage. If he does not destroy this dock but engage it from the beginning, he could have actually won this engagement and probably sink most of Sniper's fleet here. Now, Sniper will have the water control because he is gonna have the major superiority on water. There is not something that Marinelord can engage, and Marinelord still far away from clicking up to Imperial, but he has the much better eco. 17, actually not 17, it's 23. I just can't count. So 2 down centers here for Sniper, and he does have 5 on stone. Makes me believe that we are going to see a castle at some time. Honestly, when you are Sniper and you have the Imperial Age advantage, but you know that your eco is weaker, you will probably have to land your opponents. I would say that for Sniper, he needs to make a transport, land his opponent. I like how Marinelord does have the scout over here scouting to make sure that there is no landing coming this way. But either press on and win war and start massing eco big time, or the other option is to land your opponent right now and make sure that he cannot actually utilize his extra eco that he's having. Marinelord is gonna take a very bad engagement over here. Like I said, once you have your opponent with galleons and you just have war galleys and you're this much behind in Imperial each time, you have no chance to run away because you will just lose your docks. You could still try to save your fleet, to be honest, and it appears that Marinelord will try to do that. Might even end up having some okay engagements over here, even though this is still very disadvantageous for him. Reinforcements coming in here for Sniper. Still, one of the crucial points here from Marinelord is he has to know he has the better eco. That's the thing. So, if he knows he has the better eco, he should just get up to Imperial when he can, redock at the back, and make fast fire ships. Fast fire ships will just absolutely smash everything that Sniper has right now over here. It appears that Marinelord is massing more and more war galleys here, but this is not something that you ever want to take. Because even though Sniper is behind in eco, the technological advantage that he's having compensates for it, so you will not be able to win a game in war, and this is what I was afraid of. Marinelord got scared here. This is a thing that comes with experience, and this is why I was questioning if he's going to tab out over here or not. The thing is that this is a very scary scenario. What Marinelord sees is that, hey, I am in Castle Age, I have war galleys, I can't win war, right? My opponent is already Imperial. Oh boy, he has fully upgraded galleons, what I'm doing now. But this is something, like I said, that comes with experience. You need to realize that the only way your opponent is up into Imperial is that he's doing a 1 town center Imperial. Meanwhile, you were booming with 3 town centers. You are supposed to have the better economy. And even if you lose here, you can still redock at the back, go up into Imperial and go for fast starships. So I also learned this a hard way. When I actually played a ranked game, I was like, oh yeah, he's up to Imperial, there's no way. But when your opponent is this fast into Imperial and you have 3 town centers, you should know that he's probably doing 1 town center Imperial, and the longer the game drags, this is going to be better and better for you. So he got scared, it's not a trouble, but when he rewatches this recording, he needs to realize, hey, I have better economy, I can just go up to Imperial, take a look at Marinelord's resources. He could have clicked up to Imperial even with a standard civ, but especially with Italians. Redock at the back, make fast fire ships, and Sniper will not be able to continue massing his fleet. Sniper will be 22 villagers behind and you will just outmass him with fleet. So you should not be afraid of your opponent going faster into Imperial than you, especially if it is this significantly faster. Because then you should know that your opponent is probably doing a 1 town center Imperial as compared to your 3 TC boom. So, with this, it's 2 games for Sniper right now. I'm hoping that Marinelord is going to be able to show us some good games. I think he is fairly good on Arena, so I'm hoping for a good Arena game or a good Hideout game to take a look at. So with that, we are going to game number 3 over here. Like I said, every game here secures 20% of the prize pool to each of the players. So right now 40%, which is $80 available for Sniper. Marinelord still has a decent chance of winning at least 2 games, I would say. So Arena is definitely one of those maps where he could upset Sniper here, because it kind of seems like the experience on Sniper's side definitely helps him having a bigger advantage compared to Marinelord. And on the other side of things, Hideout could also be something that helps out Marinelord. So I would say that if I had to say 2 games that Marinelord can win, it is going to be Hideout and it is going to be Arena. I don't think that he can pull off a Gold Rush game, but there is a chance. I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm saying that this is gonna be damn tough for him to pull off a win on Golden Pit or Gold Rush, I'm not sure which is played. Take a look at this one. Golden Pit, okay, they're playing Golden Pit. That's a rated game map, so there's a good chance for Marinelord to have a decent game over there as well, but I feel like Arena and Hideout seem to be the maps where he could have a good chance of winning against Sniper here. Sniper is not playing without mistakes, in fact, he is making a few mistakes himself, but The previous game, Marinelord was in a winning position. That wasn't the lost game by any means. In fact, he could have just turned it around very easily. He just got scared, and like I said, there's nothing to be ashamed of because of that. It is something that comes with experience. But does he have more chance than me getting into Visible Cup? Not sure. Not sure about your chances getting into Visible Cup because didn't take a look at the seeding thingy. There is a lot of chances of getting into Visible Cup. You know, we can go up to a bracket of 128 players, which is an awful lot. So, with this, there is going to be game number 3 coming in here. We are going Arena. Alright, Clown Fiesta. Is this best of 5 or first to surrender? This is play all 5. This means that they will play all 5 games no matter what, and each game secures 20% of the prize pool. But yep, I was hoping that we could get some Hera French emotes on the chat, because that really fits this matchup over here. So, anyways, this is going to be a juicy matchup over here. Marinelord versus Sniper, game number 3 here, in between these two French players. Left side is going to be Sniper in blue, playing as Vietnamese, one of the civilizations that you have rarely seen in recent times, but after the buff that they have received, so that their eco upgrades do not cost any food, they become a legitimate archer civilization. Still, I'm somewhat puzzled that Sniper is taking Vietnamese over here, because I wouldn't necessarily call Vietnamese very, very great arena civilization. On the other side of things, Marinelord going with Teutons, even more puzzling. Like, Teutons is not a horrible civilization on arena. In fact, Teutons is probably the best in arena. Overall, Teutons is a quite garbage civilization, but if there is one map where Teutons could thrive, it's definitely arena. So, looking at the map of Marinelord, he has a golden stone at the back, which is definitely useful, and he will have the front gold. I think this is just far away from the town center. Hey, shed. What are those numbers? What are those numbers, sheddy boy? So the thing is, this gold is just enough far away to make sure that this gold should be fine. Anyways, what was the plan with this sheep? Quit touching me! Ah, being crushed! Yep, I don't remember towns just by numbers, at least a few ones. But anyways, there's the first deer coming in here from Marinelord. And on the other side, Sniperino. Go to the back, stone is okay. The other stone is actually quite nice because you can probably vault off if you need it. And you will have the gold okay as well. Anyways, relic positions, it's quite even, I would say. And secondary gold positions, okay, I would say for Marinelord. This gold will be interesting because this is something that Marinelord could contest very easily. Meanwhile, this gold and stone will probably fall into the hands of Sniper anyways in later games. Anyways, they are being pushed in from Marinelord. That is gonna be a good start, but he's going to have his boar as well. In the first game, he pushed in the deer, but he didn't actually lure in his second boar before clicking up the feudal age, so that was a bit weird of a start for him. He is gonna have to put a bit more emphasis on luring in his boar actually. So, as you can see, there is still 8 villagers on food, but there is no villagers coming to lure that boar in. This is the time when you are actually supposed to lure that boar in already. Because having 8 on this poor little cow is not something that you necessarily want. Like, if you would just send one of these villagers to lure in this boar, that would be perfect timing before the cow runs out of food. So, yeah, this is something to point out. Indeed, Marinelord is consistently late luring in his boars. That's something that he will have to address because he needs to know that, well, having huntables is definitely faster than having these herdables available to him, and I'm not sure if he knows that, to be honest. It's not something that is very, very... like, it's publicly known, but the problem is that this is not something that you would think about at first. So, if you just come into the game, start playing, even in multiplayer, you might not notice that there's a speed difference in between gathering from herdables and gathering from huntables. So, he might be just like, oh yeah, I have cows, I have deer, it's basically the same amount of gathering rate, but in fact it's completely different, and this is why you're luring in boars initially, because you want that extra food income that you would get compared to just herdables. So that's something that he will have to address in his game, I believe, knowing that he should be consuming the deer or not just the deer, but also the boars instead of the herdables. Yep, indeed, there is a major difference in the gathering speed in between huntables and herdables. Like, herdables is something like 0.9 food per second, huntables is something like 1.2, so there is like a very significant gather rate difference. Of course, with a civilization like Britain's, you gather faster from herdables, so that's a bit of a different. But still, shouldn't really matter on Fast Castle, that is correct, Hank. But if you watch back game number 1 from Marinelord, he had a later feudal age, I think a tiny bit, because he lured in his second boar when clicking up the feudal age at 22 pop men-at-arms play. So, for a Fast Castle, it shouldn't really matter, indeed, as you are saying. Probably it does influence your feudal age timing, but for Fast Castle, indeed, it shouldn't be a cause of concern. It's more about on open maps, so like Arabia, and just by looking at what he's doing, I have a feeling that he doesn't know that there is a gathering speed difference in between these two. Type of food sources. Anyways, other thing to point out for him, he would probably prefer to start placing the farms to the right side of the town center because they fit a bit better over there. And there is going to be the first board coming in. You can see that this is way late. Like, this is why looking at players who switched from StarCraft to Age of Empires 2 is sometimes very interesting for me. Same thing happened to Demon Sheep. He's a Taiwanese player who played StarCraft competitively for quite a time. And right now I think he's somewhere around being the second best Taiwanese player out there in the world. And when last year I casted Cloud versus Demon Sheep in the finals of the Taiwanese national tournament, I could see that Demon Sheep himself had insane APM, so his APM was top level, but his game knowledge was a bit sloppy. And I feel like I'm feeling the same thing with Marinelord. He does have the gaming skills, but he's missing a lot of critical details. These will slowly come with experience, but I feel like if he starts to get a good grasp of these things, he could actually become like a top 100 player very easily. Just think about this. He's making some very weird mistakes, like luring in that board late on Arabia, and he's still like 1700. If he would actually master his build orders, he would be easily top 100. So this guy can play, but experience is still missing from his side. But, well, I guess the more he plays, the more experience he's going to become. Anyways, Sniper with 24 villagers up into feudal age, as Marinelord goes for 27, and there is no loom for him. Sniper does go for loom. This is interesting. So, Sniper decides to play this with loom, and that makes me believe that we could actually see a very aggressive play here in early Castle Age. Maybe forward Siege Workshop could be an idea. But against Teutons, that's a bit risky. Oh boy, that's a bit early kill on that board. That's so far away from the TC. So the thing is that for Marinelord, this feels more about a fast Imperial with 27 villagers feudal age timing. So could this be something like 27 plus 2? Still, a bit too late, I think, into feudal age for just a few naked fast castle. There is going to be barracks coming up, which makes me believe that he wants to play this one initially with a few scouts and fight for the relics himself. On the other side, there is going to be market blacksmiths, but no barracks, so it's only a single scout. Sniper top 200? Yes, Sniper is like 160 on the leaderboard, I think. According to AoE2.net, he's 164. For Marinelord, he right now is 132. So Sniper is actually the lower rated player in the leaderboard right now. Anyways, Sniper going for a fairly well timed fast castle over here. Standard 24 plus 2. And on the other side, for Marinelord, he does have a lot of food available. Going for a stable and the blacksmith approach. I'm not blaming him for doing this, to be honest, but this is gonna be a super late Castle Age click up for him. So he's gonna be like 30% behind, as you can see. Has a bit too much food available to him. But anyways, that will allow him to make a few scouts and get some map control for himself. I would make an argument for making a spearman here, because you can easily win a scout fight with just a single spearman at your disposal. So having a single spearman at this wall would be very, very nice. But he's going very heavy on wood, only 2 on gold, makes me believe that this is going to be... What's the plan here? If he wants to go something like monks and mangonels, which can be pulled off with Teutons quite well, he needs more on gold. Considering Smurfs both are... yeah, that's also a fair point, but it's very tough to tell who's Smurf. But yeah, they are like top 150. Marinelord seems a lot better late game. He could sniper convincing an arena in a French tournament. I totally agree, and the reason behind that is because late game is where the APM really starts to matter. So the longer the game drags, the more about managing multiple things is going to be the factor, and less about your actual build order. So in early game, Marinelord is indeed weak because he has some weaker build orders, but in late game, if you're a StarCraft pro, your APM is gonna be crazy good, and that is gonna help you out quite a bit in competitive Age of Empires. Anyways, if you take away all Smurfs, Marinelord is pretty close to top 100. Yeah, that's crazy. This is what I'm saying, that if he can actually master build orders, he's gonna be top 100 easily. So, anyways, 2 scouts over here. He should send these guys out, start picking off monks. The reason why is because Sniper is already up in Castle Age, so Sniper could already be moving out with monks. It appears that we are just going to see a 3 town centers boom here from Sniper. I'm not a major fan of this TC, it's so far away from the wood lines. Still, for Marinelord, he needs to utilize these scouts, and there's going to be the monastery coming up for him. He needs a bit more villagers on gold, though. There is going to be 1 town center being at the second TC. Not a fan of this one. It's, again, too far away from the wood lines. I could have made an argument for dropping it over here in the gold pile. I don't think that you should drop it here, because that is exposed to mangonel fire. But it appears that we are going to have just booming wars in between these two players. But, well, Sniper not having a monastery just yet. Marinelord is going for the monastery of his own. So both players playing very defensive over here. And what is going to be the plan for Vietnamese? Probably archers late game, maybe even 4 Rattan archers. On the other side of things though, for Teutons this could be super interesting. They have crenellation castles which lock down the map control very nicely. They do have Bombard Tower available for them, which again is great for map control. They do have siege onagers and bombard cannons available, making the life very painful for Vietnamese. On the other side of things, Teutons do have fully upgraded, at least with blacksmith upgrades, paladins, but they are missing husbandries, so Teuton paladins are not magnificent, unfortunately. Meanwhile, for Vietnamese, they do have halberdier available, so I wouldn't say that going for something like a paladin approach is really working here from Marinelord. In fact, I feel like monks and mangonels could have been or should have been the idea here from Marinelord, but it appears that he's just going for the boom here. But as you said, late game might actually favor Marinelord quite a bit over here, and it appears that he's going to get a lot of relics for himself. I don't like the fact that he's clustering all 3 scouts together here, because there will be a chance for Sniper to pick this relic up. Instead, I think he should just split them up and try to pick off a few monks from his opponent. Add a spearman to guard the monk, that probably would be the better option. But do their castles have Machikolation? What? That word is just way too much for me. Anyways, 3 town centers coming up over here. A bit of a stone mining and 4 town centers boom coming up for Marinelord. This could be good. Because with 4 town centers, you're supposed to be able to easily outboom your opponent here. And you are going to have 3 relics. Still, I believe that Marinelord should be a bit more aggressive with his scouts and try to pick off potential monks from Sniper Hill, like patrol a scout over there to make sure that your opponent will not have that relic, for example. I would not expect Teuton Paladins. Well, that's one of the beautiful things about non-super expert players. Sometimes they go for the unconventional way of thinking, especially if you're a fairly new player. You sometimes go for something unconventional. So I wouldn't actually say that it's impossible that we are seeing Teuton Paladins, even though I would definitely dislike it, because, like I said, Vietnamese do have halberdier available to them, and that halberdier is almost fully upgraded, missing blast furnace, but still, +2, +4 pikemen or halberdiers are still quite dangerous to your paladins, especially if your paladins are this damn slow. So, like I said, you need to keep these scouts in a position that they can snipe monks. So, like, having these scouts right now over here does not make any sense. You should patrol this one so that your opponent will not be able to pick up all relics. And indeed, Marinelord is going to be on 5 relics very soon, especially considering that Sniper has lost his own scout here in a scouts fight. That means that Sniper is not contesting this one. This is looking bad for him as an idea, to be honest. Because there is going to be 3 town centers for Sniper, 4 town centers for Marinelord. He's doing a beautiful job consistently popping out villagers. That's not something that all players can do on this level, to be honest. In fact, This is quite nicely done from him. And he's going to have 5 relics, so more villagers, even though Sniper somehow has 8 villagers advantage. Maybe he does not have wheelbarrow, and that's something that Marinelord has, I'm not sure about that. But in reality, 4 town centers should easily outboom 3, and 5 relics is also a super big advantage, so especially in super late game. And I want to point out a minor thing I read on AoE Zone today. There was a thing about how to buff Teutons, and the idea was that, hey, for every relic up to 3 they collect, they should have a speed bonus on the Teutonic Knight. I think that is something that Viper also talked about, that, or was it Taro? Someone of the pro players also mentioned that you gotta give us some kind of speed boost to Teutonic Knights, but you can't just buff their speed as it is. But basically giving a speed boost comparable to what we are actually seeing with Lithuanians with the attack bonus on cavalry, that is dependent on relics, could definitely be something to take a deeper look at. And in such a scenario, that would make Teutons so lethal, having 5 relics available to them. Of course, you don't want something that goes beyond anything but 3 relics, I would say, because you don't want Ferrari Teutonic Knights, but still. I like how Marinelord is also adding a second layer to his stone walls, nice layer of security, and he's going to be a bit later going into Imperial, but his boom is supposed to be way better, so I'm not afraid of him being a bit later into Imperial, to be honest. Yeah, Ferrari Knights, indeed. Now, he's moving forward with the Monkas. He could just convert a few villagers here. Look at that. Join to the dark side, my friends. Nope, it's not happening, but it's a lot of harassment, by the way. So you idle 5 villagers with just 2 monks that would not have any other use, by the way. So I like this one quite a bit here from Marinelord. Anyways, he can still do some additional harassment here. That's a heavy commitment to stone from Sniper. Makes me believe that this is going to be pure Retin Archers. Hey Toast, welcome. How's the gameplay? I would say good. It's a bit weird because it's not like super high level play. But it's very entertaining actually, especially to see what Marinelord does, because it's not conventional, it's unique, and it's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad either. Anyways, there's going to be Loom. He was delaying Loom until late Castle Age, I don't blame him for it, and this appears to be Pikeman straight away. I know Marinelord is a reformed StarCraft player. Now, I'm not a major fan of the pikeman approach over here. He probably does expect elephants from the Vietnamese player, which is not a horrible idea, even though Vietnamese elephants are probably one of the lesser useful elephants. I would say Burmese, Malay elephants, even Khmer elephants, especially Khmer elephants, are much better than the ones that we are actually seeing from Vietnamese. There's going to be 2 villagers converted inside. Guess what? It's going to be a stabbing contest coming in. Here, force building that castle at like 70% is probably not something that you want to do. For Marinelord, I could make an argument for just placing a barracks or a stable over here inside and start sending out a few knights. That could cause a lot of chaos. Sniper doesn't have any kind of military production building, only a castle here. This castle going up will kill 2 villagers here. And indeed, the Retin Archers are coming. So, Marinelord was preemptively adding pikemen here to prevent his opponent for going for elephants. And this appears to be a bunch of siege workshops, so I think the plan is going to be Pikeman Siege Onager, which could be a decent composition over here. This is a very ambitious effort coming up for Sniper here. Adding a second castle. This is going to be pure Retin Archers, fairly decent upgrades already, +2/+2. And Retin Archers are quite arrow fire resistant. The interesting thing is that Vietnamese also have Imperial Skirmisher available, so contesting that one for Teutons is definitely not something that you can do. Teutons do not have Bracer, and Bracer-less Elite Skirms versus fully upgraded Imp Skirms is definitely something that favors Sniper here. So, indeed, you will probably have to settle with Siege Onagers here alongside a bunch of pikemen to protect them from light cavalry that could arrive from the Vietnamese player. Anyways, there is going to be 120 villagers for Marinelord, 104 for Sniper, but I feel like there is much less map control right now from Marinelord. He's using up his resources. He's just gonna go for this gold mine right now. He still has 3 scouts available that could just pick off 2 villagers over there on the north if they actually find it. But still, Ballistics is missing, I think, for these Retin Archers, otherwise they're almost fully upgraded. Onager on the way. I think for Marinelord, I would make an argument for making a few monks that do have block printing. because Vietnamese do have bombard cannon available, and bombard cannon is a perfect answer to the onagers here. So block printing monks with Teutons would definitely be something to consider to convert those bombard cannons and push them away. Anyways, another castle coming up over here. No traps coming from either side. Marinelord could definitely start popping out those traps very, very soon for him. Sniper needs crazy micro with, totally agreed. And let's see, is this going to be a Doubt castle? At 70%, but there is 3 onagers closing in. Lord Doubt, is that you? Lord Doubt, is that you? There is not a lot of vultures kills as of yet. The castle is about to go up. Oh man. I think those onagers just missed their shot, and that causes that castle to go up. And anyways, there is traps already coming in here. Sniper could just mass traps much faster. And like I said, there is the bombard cannon, which is the real answer to the onagers over here. And I don't see Marinelord having any kind of answer to the bombard cannons right now. That's my problem. So Ram is coming, sure, but bombard cannons will just tear apart all of those onagers, to be honest. So something like bombard cannon, rat and archer can definitely be a composition that works well for sniper as long as there is not enough monks available for Marinelord, and he's not adding any additional one of those. 134 vultures, 116, but the bombard cannons are pushing away those pikemen, and more importantly onagers very, very fast. Bombard cannon coming for Marinelord as well here, but instead of that I feel like with Teutons you probably want block printing monks. Still, there's going to be more and more bracks coming up. I'm not sure if that's the right way of playing this, but we'll see. There's the bombard cannon, could pick off that trap if he wants to, but this is apparently going to be a very, very heavy micro wars here with the bombard cannons, and that could actually favor Marinelord because, well, former StarCraft player, expert in another strategy game, his APM is probably quite good, and that helps out quite a bit in such fights. Nice splits there. Oh boy, there is the onagers landing their first shot. No damage done so far. Who has more range? Block printing monk or bombard cannon? By standard, if you don't have siege engineers, they have the even range. Block printing monk is 9 plus 3 for a sum of 12. Bombard cannon is 12 by standard. This is why block printing monk is a decent answer to bombard cannon, because it's much more cost efficient to try and go for a conversion on a bombard cannon than actually replacing a lost bombard cannon. So, without siege engineers, they have even range. With siege engineers, it's bombard cannon sided. Of course, with Turks artillery, there is even more bombard cannon sided. But block printing monks is definitely a common way of dealing with the bombard cannons of your opponent. And it appears that this castle is in quite significant danger. I think conscription will finish before this goes down, but oof, I don't like this, to be honest. There's no onagers. Onagers got sniped down by the bombard cannons, and this is the other problem. With monks, you can micro away from bombard cannons. Here, you have to dance against the bombard cannons of your opponent, but this is perfectly fine for sniper. He has a few traps. As long as Marinelord can't pick off his bombard cannons or traps here, he's gonna be fine. A monk would just convert it, and there is no way of moving away from that monk. There is going to be a pause coming up from Marinelord. So yeah, having a monk trying to convert a bombard cannon is definitely less micro-intensive and probably more cost-efficient. This probably could have worked very well with Halberdier, block printing monk, and onager. But it appears that Marinelord will probably just try to fight this one with his own bombard cannons, which is not impossible, but definitely going to be an uphill battle. Especially considering that this gold mine is running dry very soon, this gold mine as well. And even though Marinelord does have the better eco right now, I don't see his military composition winning this one. That's my problem. So, onagers would be very nice, but as long as your opponent does have a bunch of bombard cannons, they will just snap it down from like a million miles away, and you will have no chance of engaging this one. There are siege engineers coming in. That could help a bit for Marinelord because he would have extra range compared to his opponent's bombard cannons. But aside from that, this is still going to be a very, very tough fight. However, Sniper is only making rat and archers. If he loses his castles, that is gonna be an insanely hard game for him. So, as long as Sniper has the castles and he's continuing with this composition, and Marinelord doesn't go monks, this is a game for Sniper. If Marinelord is able to deal with those bombard cannons, and he's gonna have the onagers, I think he can start shoving down these castles and turn this game around. Anyways, apparently this pause is taking longer than expected. I hope it's not the pause bug, because that would be disastrous. Please don't tell me this is the pause bug. No. No. Crap. They're actually continuing to play. I can see that on their stream. What? I can also unpause it. What the hell? So, the thing is that we had a pause bug in one of the competitive events before, when one of the players paused and it paused for all casters and casters couldn't continue to cast. Apparently, now I can unpause manually a live game. This is a live game, not a recording, and I could just unpause it manually. That was so weird. Anyways, oof, that's a big shot, and a few shots like that could actually turn things around. 2 bombard cannons went down over there from Sniper, so the castle goes down. There is going to be still 2 bombard cannons alive, and probably better for Sniper, but damn, that onager shot could definitely help out, and there is not a lot of bombard cannons for Sniper, and if you cannot mess a lot of bombard cannons, those onagers will start pushing forward very soon. Still, I think for Marinelord, I could make an argument for a few light cavalry being added over here, although, well, with Teutons, that's probably not very fancy because they don't have light cav available. But still, even scouts trying to intercept those bombard cannons could be an idea, but you need some way to actually pick off those bombard cannons. Are you controlling armies too? No, I'm not controlling armies. I can select them, but I can't, like, right-click them or do, like... Oh man, that would be so bad if a spectator could actually control armies. Imagine that. That would be the ultimate way of rigging tournaments. Oh, that could have been a beautiful shot. Anyways, that is going to be 2 bombard cannons going down from Marinelord without any loss from Sniper. Sniper doesn't have the extra range on his own bombard cannons, so that gives a slight advantage for Marinelord. But still, he doesn't have the tools to push this one, and I don't see how he could start pushing forward. Oh man, oh man, oh man. That's a nice shot with the bombard cannons, but you still need to make sure that your onagers are safe. There is going to be the bombard cannons trading themselves off though, and onagers need to pick off the archers now. There is 2 bombard cannons going down from Sniper, and there is no more bombard cannons to protect his archers now. He will need to fall back. This might be the time to counterattack here for Marinelord, because so far Sniper couldn't push forward beyond this point. Did you know that only bombard cannons take less damage from enemy bombard cannons with Ironclad? I did. Even though, like, Ironclad is a technology I learned like 3 days ago when Ornil talked about it, because it's so rarely seen. But I'm not sure if... Well, I am certain that there is no Ironclad right now on Marinelord's side. I like how he's chopping down these trees because it gives him a bit of a more movement space, and that's quite crucial. And so far he's still holding on to this one. 8 villagers advantage, which is not magnificent, but he's holding on to this. And let's not forget, we are talking about 5 relics for him. That's an awful lot. He's moving forward with a quite convincing amount of bombard cannons. It appears Sniper will want to bash his way inside over here. He could pick off a few villagers on the wood line as well very soon. But now it's gonna be an interesting one. Bombard cannons could start shelling those castles, and this is what I was referencing to. If you can pick off the castles, Sniper will have a hard time reproducing his army. Indeed, he's adding what appears to be archer ranges, probably for Arbalest and a mixture of skirmishers as well, because we're getting to the stage of the game when gold could run dry. But that is a big shot. That is exactly what Marinelord was needing to get back into this one. 2 more trebuchets could also go down. Bombard cannons land some beautiful shots as well. So a lot of resources lost here from Marinelord, but I would say that he's still having a decent engagement over here. Picked off a bunch of Retin archers. 2 more traps go down as the bombard cannons exchange fire, and this is where the APM of a StarCraft player really comes into play. He just smashed Sniper's army here. Picked off 2 bombard cannons, and now he definitely has the advantage. This many bombard cannons can take down castles insanely fast. And indeed, there is elite skirms in the making, but elite skirms will not be magnificent against those onagers. I want to see Vietnamese cav archer. Anyways, don't friendly fire your guys down, and you need to focus fire on that castle. You need to make sure that no more castles go up for your opponent. And the rams are not a horrible idea either. Like, especially if you have bombard cannons sniping on the opponent's bombard cannons. Your opponent right now has no tools to stop any kind of rams, aside from killing it with villagers. That could be a beautiful shot on the Red Archers. The Red Archers moving in to snap the bombard cannons. That could be beautiful, trying to attack ground with the onagers, but this could be big. This could be big yet again. Few Red Archers picked off, but the bombard cannons are doing quite decent damage. That's one onager going down over there. Don't get jebaited into the castle fire, please, because you're losing way too many halberdiers in this one. Still, 3 more bombard cannons down from Sniper, and none more from Marinelord. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. He's gonna lose 1 bombard cannon, but it's perfectly fine. He killed 3 bombard cannons from his opponent and killed like 20 Red Archers in just seconds. Right now, if you take a look at military counts, Sniper is down to 16 military. He's making more and more bombard cannons alongside Imperial skirmishers coming in very soon for him. Onagers will still be fine against that, to be honest. And one thing that is problematic for Sniper is that he's gonna have gold control issues. He's slowly running out of his own gold over here at the back of his base. Basically, this is the only gold that he can take now. And I think he also has this one, but he's not mining it just yet. It's getting raided. And once he runs out of gold, making new bombard cannons is going to be very tough. On the other side of things, for Marinelord, he has 5 relics, so he can continue to pop out more and more bombard cannons. Oh no! No! Don't go for bracerless elite skirms against the best skirmishers in the entire game. That is not going to work. You're perfectly fine with your onagers, man. You're absolutely fine with it. But going for mediocre elite skirms against the best skirms in the game is just not going to work. But anyways, ramp push is definitely a decent idea. There's a few halberdiers in the making for Sniper, but I would say that this is still quite okay. Bombard cannons landing a lot of shots on those skirmishers. Cost efficiency seems to be on the side of Marinelord, despite the fact that he's behind in terms of KD. And when the halberdiers are actually cleaned up, you could start taking that castle down with those rams. For now, it appears that the halberdiers from Sniper are diving in on the onagers, and the only real use for your skirmishers if you're Marinelord is probably picking off those halberdiers. They'll be okay at doing that. Siege onager, very expensive upgrade available, but that is going to be something that massacres those archers. Problem is the bombard cannons are snapping them down from a quite significant distance, and slowly but surely Sniper appears to push again. There is no more onagers available from Marinelord except for one at the back. Still, it appears that Marinelord is going to go for what appears to be full elite skirms play, but I don't really like this, to be honest. I don't really like this. Even though he does have a few rams available, he wants to pick off that cannon, and that is going to be a big pick off. And you don't see Sniper being able to destroy those rams very easily, and even these poorly upgraded skirmishers will be quite okay against the halberdiers here, because they do deal a bonus damage. And that means that you could actually just pick off the halberdiers and send in the rams to destroy the castles, but this is not a fight that Marinelord can ever win. Like, look at that, 4+4 Imperial skirms at 42 HP, 5+4 pierce armor, compared to 3+3 attack, 4+2 armor, and even lower range as well. So as you can see, Marinelord is getting smashed over here. It's not a wise decision to go for a skirms war. If it wasn't for Vietnamese and if it wasn't for Teutons, I would say this is quite okay for him. But, well, it's Vietnamese skirms available. Still, he's just spamming out a lot of units here. So the APM is really paying off over here. Onager shot, that is going to miss here. And apparently Little Bear is also joining the fight over here. Siege Onager crawling up to the front lines. This is 9 range for this guy. He can outrange those skirmishers, and there's going to be a big shot up. A lot of those guys go down, and there is going to be a retreat indeed coming up from a single Siege Onager shot. This is still wide open, and it appears that we are going to see light cavalry being added from Sniper. Good idea, because he's facing a very, very skirm-heavy approach, but I feel like Marinelord will be able to react to that one because he's fully upgraded hobs. So all he needs to do is just add a few hobs for himself. Apparently he did just friendly fire 2 of his bombard cannons, which is going to hurt him quite a bit. But still, he's in this game, and the longer this game drags, the better it is going to be for him, because he will have 5 relics against 1. Sniper is really consuming his final bits of gold left. 10 gold miners available to him, 7 of them on this tile. So there's a bit more gold left over here that he could use, but he's really running dry on gold very, very soon. Anyways, still, Sniper wants to just snap down those bombard cannons and onagers with the halberdiers. There's the light cavs moving inside, and that could be very dangerous. Right now there's just nothing that could stop them, but oof, that's one big shot. And that's a lot of siege onagers that could just smash that entire army. There goes another 3 of those skirmishers. However, this is going to be a very expensive loss here from Sniper. A lot of light cavalry was swarmed over those onagers. Maybe the bombard cannons can be saved, but not the onagers. 4 onagers go down to just a few light cavalry here. You will need halberdiers back into this one. For Marinelord, indeed, he's adding additional halberdiers. Castle coming in here for him. I could make an argument for crenulations here, because that would be just enough against bombard cannons. It's not enough against trebuchets, but it's definitely something if you can have your castles being protected against bombard cannons at least. Still, these villagers will have to focus on building this castle. The castle is losing a lot of HP, by the way, because it's being trapped down. So as you can see, it's 70% constructed, but 50% HP. So a lot of HP is lost on that one, and apparently we don't have enough halberdiers for Marinelord, because there's just a lot of light cavalry coming inside. Fairly decent upgrades on Sniper, and this is definitely the most convincing game here for Marinelord, but I feel like he's a bit behind in terms of a civilization that he's utilizing. 2 tunes on Arena is not a bad civilization, but in such a late game, Vietnamese trash is quite decent, and 2 tunes do lack light cavalry, 2 tunes do lack bracers, so they're missing so many key pieces of their thresh units that is just not something that you can actually live with. Still, this trap is gonna go down and the castle still stands. Barely, but it stands, as it appears that Marinelord still wants to snipe on those traps. He's fighting one-on-one with bracerless skirmishers against fully upgraded Imperial skirms. Not necessarily the type of fight you want to have. Still, like I said, for Marinelord, he needs to hold out until his opponent runs out of gold. Score is still that even, so that's something that he can see at least. So as long as he holds out for long enough to Sniper to run out of gold, he should have the upper hand again, because he's gonna have fireworks, and that's an awful lot of gold income for him, or just a few good onager shots, and that is more than enough to smash through the entire army of his opponent. Sure, the trap is going to finish off that final onager. Nope, it's still standing. And look at the military counts, 37 for Marinelord, Sniper down to 16, replenishing it to 28 now. But it appears that this trap is also going to go down. Castle still standing for Marinelord, but he still doesn't have enough halberdiers to deal with these light cavalry. That is a bit of a concern for him. Slowly but surely though, there is an overchop into the base of Marinelord. This could actually cause a lot of chaos, and meanwhile, Sniper ramming down those gates, and that means that light cavalry will start flooding into Marinelord's eco. This is something that he can address with a few halberdiers in here. What is even more concerning is that overchop, so even without that gate being knocked down, there was a hole into his own base. Halberdiers need to swarm that light cavalry. Still, Marinelord, if he loses something like 10 villagers, he should still be fine, but he cannot lose more than 20, I think, in this game. Anyways, now it's gonna be Sniper on the offensive, and Marinelord does have the advantage here. Rams going for the monastery, and monastery still up, but the relics will ungarrison, and that's a critical loss here for Marinelord. He will have to make a new monk to pick those up, and that's already a quite crucial piece. There's gonna be the gate being rebuilt here, but still there's an overchop that will need to be addressed very soon. But it appears that Marinelord was able to save the situation momentarily. Still needs to address this issue, because this could lose him the game here. The monastery is still standing, and with repairs coming in, he could just pick up those relics and be fine with it very soon. Still though, like I said, needs to stonewall this one off completely. And once he unleashes those halberdiers, he might be able to turn this around, but I think he's losing a lot of bombard cannons to the light cavalry here, because he doesn't have enough halberdiers to deal with this one. Castle barely standing, but one good shot from those bombard cannons and you can pick off the trap very easily. Anyways, walls are up here apparently, and the halberdiers should just focus in the middle and pick off the light cavalry, because losing those onagers is definitely something that hurts quite a bit here for Marinelord. His KD is somewhat better than the one from Sniper, so you can see those onagers paying off slow and steady, but you need more halberdiers to protect your bombard cannons, because that's very expensive to lose that many bombard cannons. I'm starting to believe something like bombard cannon onager halberdier could still work here for Marinelord, as he has 2000 score lead actually, almost 2000 that. That is quite impressive. Halberdier ram could also be a decent idea, because as you can see, now Sniper is running dry on gold. There is no chance of getting inside over here, and this is the time when Marinelord will start to shine. There is the rams moving forward, and you don't have anything that can kill those rams. Like, you have halberdiers and you have light cavalry, but That is something that Marinelord has as well, fully upgraded halberdiers, and Vietnamese halberdiers are not fully upgraded, and that means that is an advantage for Marinelord finally. This is the first time for a quite significant amount of time that we're seeing Marinelord pushing, and not just defending here, but with the raids on the gold mines available, this is looking better and better for him. He's going to cripple Sniper's eco absolutely here with the gold villagers picked off, and the lumberjacks are also super exposed, so a few halberdiers could really deal a lot of damage here to the eco of his opponent. He's still lacking siege gear here, and apparently the halberdiers are off position, so the light cavalry can pick off the bombard cannons. That's a big loss here, but he's still lacking appropriate siege to make sure that he's able to take down those castles, but once he takes down those castles, this could definitely be on the side of Marinelord. He will need those halberdiers in the middle though, he can't lose that many expensive siege weapons here. But with no villagers from Sniper on gold and Marinelord still having 7 villagers on gold, he has stockpiled 11,000 food, by the way. 11,000 food in the banks from Marinelord. He still has 5 relics and he still has a few more gold miners available to him. This is crazy. And if he just allocates the rest of his villagers to wood, in fact, I could make an argument for deleting a few, but it might not even matter. Sniper is down to 148 population, and meanwhile, Marinelord is consistently pop-capped. He's slowly taking down these buildings here, as he's adding champion for a reason that is somewhat unknown to me. What's the motivation behind adding champion here? Are you expecting your opponent to flood you with, like, hobs? You can still fight this one, because you have better halberdiers. So I wouldn't say that adding champions over here is something that you should do. In fact, it's a quite bad decision because it's very expensive and you don't necessarily gain anything major from it. I think it could have been just better to use that gold on siege weapons and slowly push forward, like traps, bombard cannons. Could have been much better, but it appears that slowly this castle is going to go down. Sniper is still behind in terms of military count, not by much though. He's down to 47. Left side, there's also a bit of a raiding here from Marinelord. That's very important, that he's raiding left and right, picking up a few villagers from Sniper. Sniper is dropping in population count quite heavily, but Marinelord still needs to make sure that he doesn't lose those bombard cannons to light cavalry raids. I feel like he's consistently lacking halberdiers right next to his siege, and that could be a big deficit for him in the long run, because these bombard cannons being exposed could mean that they are lost, and even with 5 relics, you cannot afford to lose that many bombard cannons, they are so expensive. Still, this looks better and better right now for Marinelord. Now has 4,000 score lead, and he's as close as he could be to winning the game here. To be honest, this is definitely his most convincing game. Had some weird things in this one as well and didn't start out very well. Like, I'm not a major fan of the elite skirmisher play over here. It's not horrible because it's still okay for picking off halberdiers, but I feel like going for something like a pure halberdier, onager, bombard cannon type of an approach could have been better. I'm still puzzled by researching, what is that, champion, which makes very little sense here for Marinelord. But he could still win this one. He needs to start picking off buildings big time here. Not sure about the rams right now, to be honest, because I feel like light cavalry and halberdiers can just pick that off. Probably Marinelord would be better off with just bombard cannons or a few trebuchets taking down these buildings. He can do that from a distance, and he has an army that is perfect for defending those siege weapons. All he needs to do is just camp there, sit on the bombard cannons and the onagers with his pikemen and skirmishers, and he's gonna be more than happy to take down those buildings. Anyways, slowly but surely, Marinelord is grinding forward, and that means that he's getting very close to winning this game. He managed to take down this town center over here as well. Sniper does have a bit of an issue with his food eco now with that. And it appears that Sniper was able to go back to that gold mine, but that's not a lot of gold income. In fact, there is like 400 gold left in that gold tower, so it doesn't really matter anymore. To be honest, it's like 2 more bombard cannons for Sniper. The problem is much bigger than that. I feel like Sniper has given up 5 relics very easily to his opponent, so he did not contest it at all, and also went for a 3 town centers boom. Marinelord on the other side, 4 town centers boom, went for the relics. Definitely much better scenario for him in this one. Still losing those bombard cannons to the skirmishers hurts quite a bit. Yet again, not enough halberdiers to clean up those light cavalry. You need more. You need more, but that's a beautiful onager shot. Might even be able to land another one on those skirmishers that it appears will not happen. Still, the push from Marinelord is very slow, but his eco should propel him forward, especially having those extra 5 relics is so significant right now. He has 12,000 food in the bank, By the way, if you take a look at Sniper's resources, he has like nothing, so he's really scraping the barrel here. Marinelord is like, oh yeah, I still have 20k or 12k food, 5k food available. Marinelord is dropping in population massively, so he needs more production in this one. Like, when you have this many resources but dropping in population means that you will need more and more and more production, because you could produce units, you're just not doing it. In fact, there's a lot of idle buildings here as well, but I still believe that a lot of idle buildings could just pop out units a bit faster, maybe even a few buildings here closer to the front line so that he can actually reinforce the front lines a bit faster. But like I said, you cannot afford to lose that many very expensive siege weaponry in here. And I'm still not a major fan of the Rams approach. I feel like 5 traps here, not even 5, just 3 traps could have just matted everything here for Sniper. Anyways, that's a beautiful shot with the Onager, but you will need those halberdiers to pick up the light cavalry. Make sure that they are not doing damage here to your siege weapons. It's looking quite decent, and the Onagers will yet again land another shot. It's very, very micro-intensive for Sniper, so he needs to concentrate on this one. He cannot address his eco issues because one good shot from Marinelord and his entire army is gone. KD is definitely in the side of Marinelord now that he's using those Onagers to their best. And with the final gold tile running dry here for Sniper, interestingly, Sniper is actually chopping wood right next to Marinelord's wood line over here. But still, look at those. Those Onagers are exposed to the light cavalry. You don't want to lose them that way, please. So Sniper somehow is still holding on to this one. Like I said, the name of the game here for Marinelord is that he needs to keep his siege engines alive, and I feel like trebuchets is something that he needs. Bombard cannons are nice, but it would be much better if he could just trap down those buildings from a larger distance. Because his army is great for defending, like I said, but it's not magnificent for pushing a that big blob of Imperial skirmishers. Especially with light cavalry picking off those very expensive siege weapons. I gotta say, Sniper is doing it very, very magnificently. So, running inside, picking off those siege weapons, that can decide games. So such moves can really decide games. Very big investment from Marinelord, yet again going down the drain. And Sniper is having better numbers now in terms of population, 194. Marinelord down to 180. I feel like he deleted a bunch of villagers because he wants more military numbers. 100 villagers is still okay, but well, he's gonna have to start massing more and more army. I feel like he needs either more production or all of his buildings working, because you can see that he's having a lot of idle buildings here, and I feel like he needs more skirmishers or what is that, halberdiers to deal with those light cavalry. Like, you cannot allow this to happen, for example. Cavalry looping around and picking off even just half of the HP from that bombard cannon. That is so expensive that if you lose it, you will lose the game sooner or later, because even with 5 relics, you can't afford to lose that many gold on just a few units. Anyways, still I don't see what kind of pushback value Marinelord could have here. So the problem is that he's very good at defending this position, but he cannot push forward because of those skirmishers. This is why I did recommend traps. That way you can attack those buildings from a larger distance, and you don't need to push that deep in to start picking off those buildings. Like, this castle is so deep into enemy territory that you need to be somewhere like around here to start bombarding it down. It would be much better with trebuchets. Anyways, slowly apparently it is going to be the flood arriving from Marinelord, but he's just at 150 population still, so dropping lower and lower in terms of food count, he will have to start making this happen, because with 100 villagers against 124, he can't actually win the spam wars in the long run. So he has a lot of resources stockpiled, so I don't blame him for deleting villagers. In fact, that could be very good if he can mass an army that is like 100 units sized. But if he's constantly under 150 population, and he just deleted a bunch of villagers, that is gonna be a major loss to him, because he will not be able to push, and he's gonna get outspammed by his opponent, because Sniper will have better eco in the long run. So yeah, now is the time for those bombard cannons. They could just start taking down these buildings as well very fast. That could be an idea as well. Like I said, your army is very good at defending. You don't want to push this one over here necessarily. If you can start taking out the production, that's already a decent start for you. These bombard cannons finish off buildings so fast that you can definitely do that one. Just pick off 2 buildings in 5 seconds and then be done with it. And, well, Marinelord just spamming out more, like, can things like champions into siege rams and unloading them at enemy work? For which player? For Marinelord, I don't see a reason to it, because these skirmishers in that many large numbers garrison 4 of them into a ram, and those 4 will be just massacred by that many skirmishers. So I don't think it would actually work very well for Marinelord. For Sniper, yet again, I don't see the reason behind it, because bombard cannons onagers will take down rams from distance. So infantry into rams and ungarrisoning is not something that you commonly see, because you can only garrison a few infantry inside, and that many skirmishers will just massacre them. Now, this is the time that we're waiting for, and I think this is when Sniper's resistance will absolutely cripple. The castle going down here is quite crucial, but if you can take down the production here, that is probably what could seal the deal here. Still, key thing, have a few halberdiers around your bombard cannons, because if you lose those, you will probably lose a lot of time and the chance to finish off your opponent. But like I said, if you delete villagers and go down to 100, you want to have about 100 military, and this is exactly what Marinelord needs. Full pop capped, meanwhile Sniper dropping in population count, and we are going to have Marinelord pushing forward, and there is the GG. Beautifully played by Marinelord here. There were some flaws, I gotta say. There were some flaws with this one. So I'm not a major fan, for example, for researching champion, which he had nothing to do with. He had some issues protecting his siege weapons overall from cavalry. I see that redemption, by the way, Strumper. I will talk about that in a second. So, very nicely done. His APM really showed over there. He addressed the issue of this break-in as well quite nicely. Even though it appeared that Sniper went for a ram push over here, even fortified wall available here for Marinelord. So the thing is that I feel like the idea wasn't bad for Marinelord. In fact, he played quite nicely. I feel like though early game, it would have been better to go for block printing monks to counter the bombard cannons. And in later stages of the game, I feel like the champion upgrade was completely necessary. Elite Skirm was okay to pick off the halberdiers, but there should have been a bit more emphasis on onagers, I feel like, to pick off the opponent's skirms and not just directly fight with your own crappy skirmishers. Would you say Marinelord would have won if he denied a couple of relics? Marinelord has won, but if Sniper gets 2 relics here, he probably wins. So there was a big factor in this victory for Marinelord having 5 relics in here. So I think if Sniper has at least 2, he has a chance to win this one. With 2 relics, that's just a minor gold difference for Marinelord, and Vietnamese trash is far better than the one from Marinelord here. Like, Marinelord doesn't have bracer, doesn't have light cavalry, his hubs are fully upgraded, but Vietnamese trash is just much better. And when you have about even gold income, it's gonna be most about the trash here. If you take a look at the extra gold, this is what really decides the game. 8,000 gold difference for Marinelord. That is the 8,000 you're actually seeing here right now as well. Marinelord more wood collected as well by a mile, but 8,000 gold, quick counting, that's 40 bombard cannons. So he could afford to take some bad fights. If the gold or the relic count were much more even, Marinelord couldn't have actually afforded making that many bad fights with his bombard cannons. Anyways, it is a gift sub redemption, by the way, from Stroemper. I'm gonna do that after the stream. So I'm gonna take a write-up on your name, and I will give you a sub after the stream. I will not forget. So thanks for lurking around and redeeming that. I will give you a sub after stream, like I usually do. Anyways, we are going to have one game in store for Marinelord, and Vandal Nomad also wants one more gift. Okay, we'll have Vandal Nomad available for gift sub as well. I think you still have your gift, though. It's fine. It's totally fine. Vendor the Nomad. So let's add a score here to Sniper. Okay, if it ends today, I will probably... Well, I can just only gift you right after it runs out. So I can't gift a sub until you actually have your subscription active. So I'll have to wait with that one. But yeah, I will do that after stream for both of you. Don't worry about that. I think Twitch will also give a notification about it. So, game number 3 in the banks. And like I said, closed out maps sometimes can help out for weaker players a tiny bit more. And I would say that Marinelord is probably still the weaker player of the two, especially because of the lack of experience. But we still have Hideout available, I think. And we still have Golden Pit available. So I would say that Hideout is somewhat similar to what we are going to see here on Arena. That is a map where I see that Marinelord has a realistic chance of winning. Golden Pit, I would say Sniper is the one that I think who would actually win that. So I would say that this could end up 3-2, but that would still be a good achievement for Marinelord. Like I said, in just pure gameplay skills, he's amazing. Like his multi-queuing, his production, his micro, and overall how he manages his things, this is top level. So, like, if Marinelord had the very, very precise build orders learned, I would say he would be something like top 25. Because this kind of management skills is quite good. It's insanely good. Of course, this is still a long way for him to climb up into the top because it just takes so much time to learn the fine details of the game, how to react on certain things. Like, it took me 1 year to kind of learn that, hey, if your opponent is going for Bombard Cannon Zoldygon in Imperial Age, you can actually counter that with Redemption Monks with block printing. So it comes with experience, but he does have a very good basis to build on. And it appears that we are actually going for Golden Pit here for game number 4. So let's go. This is a bugged lobby here, so maybe they did not launch it. Oh yeah, they're just launching the lobby because it's something I'm seeing there on their own stream. And indeed, there it is, Golden Pit. So welcome everybody, game number 4 in a not best of 5, it's actually playable 5 in between Marinelord and Sniper, 2 French players. And we are going to have Sniper on the northern side of the map playing in blue, and down south Marinelord in red playing as Spanish. Is Marinelord the same StarCraft 2 guy? That is correct. This is this StarCraft player Marinelord. He started playing Age of Empires in like November or so. This is basically the whole story behind this one, that he has insane RTS gaming skills, but he's less experienced. Sniper is a very experienced Age of Empires player, but he probably has a bit weaker pure skills. But now there is at least 2 StarCraft players who do have a high level gaming skills in AoE to Definitive Edition. One of them is Marinelord, the other one is Demon Sheep, a Taiwanese player. I'm not sure what his name was in StarCraft 2, but Demon Sheep also is a veteran pro StarCraft 2 player. Anyways, so Khmer versus Spanish here is the combo. Interesting. I would say that Spanish is a top level civilization over here. Beastie tried to play a bit as well. Like, I can't realize StarCraft 2 pros by name because I don't watch competitive StarCraft, but I am always keeping an eye out on new StarCraft players switching into this game. I like to see players who have great skills but less of a game knowledge playing, because it's nice to see how they evolve over time. So, like, Demon Sheep has improved an awful lot since the last time I've seen him in competitive gaming, and I'm hoping that Marinelord will do the same thing. So, for him, I would say if Marinelord took, let's say, a coaching lesson from the expert players, he could be top 25 in like 2 weeks. Like, his game skills are insane. He just lacks experience. But that will come with time, like I said. So, Spanish, good civilization choice over here. Looking at the map of Marinelord, not a major fan of it overall in terms of stone positioning. This gold is quite nice, other gold is quite garbage, but very well volleyball. Berries at the back. And it's really about the question what Marinelord wants to do. Fast Castle Conquistador play seems reasonable, but you need one of those stones for that. I guess protecting this might be slightly easier, wall with an arc like this one. But both of your stones exposed, this is still gonna be a tough one to handle, to go for a Fast Castle Conks play here. Meanwhile, on the other side, for Sniper, this is going to be a Fast Castle play here as well. But this is going to be a Khmer Fast Castle, and since Khmer don't need buildings to click up into the next age, you can do a 23 population fast castle. It's gonna be an insanely fast castle here. And probably going for 23 pop Khmer fast castle, straight up stable knights. And for that reason, Marinelord will have to wall himself off very early, because he could just fall into that one very easily. Looking at the map here for Sniper, not magnificent, but both of his golds are very easy to secure, so if you wall here and here, you will have gold, stone available, a lot of wood at the back, and you can just wall until to the corner, and you will also have all the gold. So I would say that slightly better map is on the side of Sniper. It's not awful for Marinelord though, and yet again, this is where we're going to see that he's probably going to be a bit late with his huntables as well over here. Appears that now he's sending out a Voyager to do this. Now, one thing I want to point out, taking a look at the Marinelord, and that's probably something that he does not know either, is that he's sending out a Voyager with food in his hands. Now, Voyagers that have resources in their hands are actually slower than the ones that do not have any, so he's losing precious time in this one, and also endangering that Voyager a bit more, because, you know, this Voyager is slower running away from the boar. So, no harm done to his Voyager right now, but that's also something to address. Every minor detail matters once you go to high-level gaming, and for that reason, next time he sends out a Voyager to get a boar, he needs to send out one that has no food or any resources in his hands. Anyways, he's pushing the deer right now. This is a much better start than we have seen in the previous game from him, so this is exactly what we are supposed to do here. If you have a hunt here and you push in the next, what is that, deer, you're supposed to be more than okay. And you will need to lure that boar in at some time. You can just keep the sheep for later. Still, left side is going to be fully walled. And what is a problem here is that the stones will all be open. And I don't like this. If you want to go for fast castle conquistadors play, even if you suspect your opponent going for knights, you will still need to make sure that your opponent will not be able to just attack your stone with like a single archer or so, because there might be a chance for Sniper to go for archers and then start harassing your stone mine that way. Also, there's a high chance that we are going to see towers from Sniper once he realizes that his opponent is going for fast casting, even though, judging by the voting, this is just going to be a standard fast caster from Sniper. Honestly, I didn't know villagers holding guards were slower as well. Yep, there is a lot of minor things that people don't know about this game. Like, some of them are not very easy to guess, and this is what Dogao says to me always, that these little things will start to matter once you go for very high level playing. So it might not matter at like 1600 rating, 1500 rating, but once we are talking about pros, semi-pros, every little bit of time matters. Every chance for your villager to get picked off by a boar because your villager is slower, every bit of an idle time that is caused by the fact that your villager is walking slower will just have a very big importance later on. Anyways, this appears to be a Drush fast castle here coming up from Marinelord, and he might be able to get inside here, but the left side will be walled off most likely. Oh no. I am not a major fan of this wall from the Sniper, and Marinelord might get lucky with this one. I think he just spotted those militias coming here with the walls, so this is why he's dropping the walls right now. Marinelord will not get in here with the Drush, and we'll also see Sniper building up those walls very fast because he sees the Drush coming in here. Very unfortunate, I gotta say, for Marinelord. He was very close to bashing his way in here. And indeed, with Sniper clicking up at 24 Voyagers, 23 is something doable, but he's gonna do a bit more passive 24 Voyager up. This is going to be 24 Voyagers fast castle knights from him. And meanwhile, Drush FC from Marinelord going into feudal at 27 pop. So his fast castles are also quite slow, to be honest. Like, I think the Drush is probably 26, but last game he also had a 27 pop up for like a naked fast castle play. So I feel like he's not doing something like 24 plus 2, which can definitely be done. He's clicking up a bit later the feudal age. That could be a dangerous, especially against a Khmer player. You can already see that this Khmer player in particular, Sniper, he's lacking a bit of a gold here, which is a problem. I'm not sure if he was supposed to do Loom here, but considering that this is a feudal age scout against a dark age scout, he can take a decent engagement, and nice marker there from Sniper, landing some shots on the scout, but he's not engaging the militias as of yet. And with this happening, Sniper still will have a bit of an idle time on his TC because the gold miners did not manage to get enough gold for him. So even though this is a good idea from him, the execution was a bit sloppy, could have clicked up a bit faster. I think if he doesn't do Loom, he's perfectly fine clicking up right after it and then do Loom when you reach Castle Edge, because your villagers are still super safe. There's no way that Marinelord should be able to get in here ever. Anyways, as you can see, Sniper will be already halfway up to Castle Edge by the time Marinelord reaches Feudal, and he's going to have to add at least 2 more villagers here to make it something like what appears to be a 28 plus 2. Like I said, Marinelord's Feudal Age times in Castle or Fast Castle plays is definitely a bit slower than usual, so 28 villager click up in the Feudal is more about Fast Imperial, and indeed there is going to be a mining camp. Normally I would say that this is probably a bad mining camp, because if I have 1 archer over here, you don't have stone, right? But right now, considering that Sniper is very likely to go for Knight's play, I'm saying this is okay, with the exception of the fact that you are sending out weak villagers. Another thing that is showing that Marinelord does have a bit of an inexperience issue here. So, if you take a look at this one, you don't want 2 weak villagers out there on stone. You want those weak villagers right next to the town center farming, so you always farm with your weak villagers and use strong villagers out here, so this is extremely dangerous. Only a minor aggression coming from Sniper and he could pick off 2 villagers with like 2 archers or so. Still, for Marinelord, he is going to be up to Castle Edge in a matter of seconds. Still no stable coming up though, which is a bit sloppy. I feel like if you want to go for a fast Castle Knight's play, especially with the amount of stone you have, you want to probably drop that stable, but I feel like Sniper could just go for the boom here. He doesn't have enough wood to do 2,000 right now. He will probably just add 1 right now, and indeed, he's just going for the boom. Now, considering that Marinelord does have a drush over here, there is a little chance for Sniper, I would say, to sneak a town center out in the middle, so he'll probably have to settle with another town center. And he's doing a siege workshop. Why? What do you gain with this defensive siege workshop over here? I don't see this. I definitely don't see this from Sniper. He wants to make a Scorpion against this one. That is a big overreaction, I would say. I don't get the siege workshop. It could have been much better on a second town center, to be honest. Like, these militias should never get inside with the villager repairing it. You need to address that issue, of course, but you shouldn't be able to get inside here. Anyways, indeed there's a Scorpion coming. I feel like this is a big overreaction here. You sacrifice adding 1 town center to make a siege workshop and make a Scorpion just to kill 3 militias. This is perfect value, by the way, for Marinelord's militias. He forced out a defensive siege workshop, which is a great value. He's going to have enough villagers on stone to make a castle happen very soon, though, and this is probably going to be Conquistador's play for him. So, where is he going to place that castle? I would say that the proper castle placement is over here, because that is gonna overlook this pit over here, and you will secure a gold mine. And you can see that Sniper is already lurking for those villagers. Marinelord is gonna send those militias back to kill that scout. Sniper is lurking for those villagers. There's double Scorpions actually. Now, the Khmer Scorpion Death Bowl is not a horrible idea alongside monks, but I feel like a few Scorpions in early Castle Age is not what I call Khmer Death Scorpion Blob. Especially with Conquistadors or Knights available to your opponent as well. Additional TC being added from Marinelord first on their stone pile. But he's gonna have to expand. He doesn't have enough stone to make an additional or make a castle right now, but he could make a new town center, so could even make an argument for making a TC over here outside. But with 3 Scorpions arriving now, that is gonna be a bit of a challenge. I do see monks coming in, so it's gonna be monks and Scorpions from Sniper. I'm not against this completely, and like I said, this is why this wall is bad. Once your opponent has any kind of ranged unit, he's going to be able to kill your villagers over there, and considering that you have some weak villagers here, this is going to be very easy for Marinelord. So, or for Sniper to pick off a few villagers. Really just 2 shots from those Scorpions, and there is going to be a kill. Huge hole? There's no huge hole anywhere. Anyways, Scorpions moving inside, and indeed there is 1 villager going down and 2 villagers go down very easily here. Indeed, that was something that was kind of expected. This is why I said that having those stones is probably problematic for Marinelord, because he needs to wall around in an arc to make sure that there is no range unit killing it. This is the problem with such walls. If your opponent has any kind of range unit, he's going to kill your villagers over there. By the way, indeed, a lot of Vulture picks did happen over here for Sniper. So Sniper 42 Vultures compared to 36 from Marinelord. And Marinelord has a lot of weak Vultures as well, so another raid could actually finish it off very soon. A Knight popping out might help, but if Sniper just sends forward his Monks, that he's not doing right now, he could just easily counter that. So Monks and Scorpions could work in Castle Age. And I feel like Sniper managed to do decent damage to his opponent right now, as you can see. Panic houses from Marinelord because he got housed. He's 2 town centers, as opposed to what appears to be 2 as well from Sniper. Sniper could still add a 3rd town center at some time, but it appears that he's just going to go for a stable. AoE2 lesson 1, learn to make walls. Totally. Like, you have to make sure that resource is protected from any kind of ranged aggression. Like, it could have been just a single archer in Feudal Age, for example, and you don't have stone. This is particularly true when you are actually going for fast castle play, because in the fast castle play, you have no military to defend. Now, there is the monk coming in here. You could try to use the militias to pick off that monk, but this will not really work very well. Oh, pick off the monk. Kill the monk, please, and the Scorpions will finish off that militia. I think there could have been a chance for Marinelord to pick off that monk. For now, Monks and Scorpions will look very nice. For Marinelord, this probably has to be light cavalry. He does have a lot of TC idle time. In fact, his food eco is quite bad. So, has 21 villagers on food, but doesn't have enough on food, to be honest. And that is a bit concerning. Needs to add a lot more villagers to food here, because otherwise his food eco is gonna be garbage. He does have one relic, but that doesn't really matter right now. What really matters is that he's going to start making conquistadors. It could work. If you have something like 10 conquistadors against this, you can probably win that, especially if you split them up nicely. You can snap down monks quite fast with like 10 conquistadors or so, and you can fight against the Scorpions as well. But you can't just fight this with something like 3 conquistadors, and I don't see Marinelord being able to mass conquistadors super fast. For Sniper, he's not mining any kind of stone right now, so forward castle is a distant dream. This second TC is something I heavily dislike, to be honest. Could have been on the middle, to be honest, with this kind of map control that you're actually having. Having double TCs right on this wood line makes little sense to me, to be honest. Or the gold mine could have been a nice spot for that TC as well, or one of your stone mines, like over here, could have been a nice spot for that TC instead of dropping it right next to the other wood line. Anyways, for now, this is going to be 9 villagers lead in the hands of Sniper, and he's going to have wheelbarrow as well. I don't think that that's something that Marinelord does have. And since Marinelord is only 2 town centers as opposed to 3, he is going to fight an uphill battle against a much stronger economy right now. He will probably have to add an additional town center. He does have the resource to do it. Indeed, there is TC number 3 coming up for him, but with 2 villagers building this is going to be a slow process getting that up. And he will probably fall behind by something like 20-ish villagers. That is scary. However, he's picking up relics quite a lot, and I love that. A lot of players forget about picking up relics, and I love when players focus quite a bit on picking up relics, especially on a map which is partially about gold denial. So, in late game, if he gets forced off the gold, having those relics in his monastery could definitely be something that helps him out in the long run. So, with all of this, there is going to be a few knights as well from Sniper, just bloodlines on them, but no extra upgrades. On the other side, where is the army at from Marinelord? Marinelord, not a single upgrade on those guys, tries to dive in on those Scorpions, but actually picks off 1.5, let's call it 1.5. But yep, 1 conversion does happen, and losing a knight to conversion is definitely not something that you want, even if you can pick off a Scorpion like that, because losing a knight to conversion is a big amount of resources lost. Anyways, with 5 on stone for Sniper, I could make an argument for forward castle here for him at some time. Like, he's still far away from dropping a castle, but Marinelord is very, very passive, and he's not contesting this gold mine. Right now, Marinelord has no tools to defend this gold mine. If Sniper makes a castle here, Marinelord will be cut off from this gold, and then he's gonna be forced to move to the middle, which is something that you can contest with your army much more easily. Anyways, Sniper is a bit too passive to my taste, to be honest, when he's investing this heavily into military. If you invest this heavy, you will have to be aggressive. He still has an 18 villagers lead, which is quite convincing, but Marinelord is massing a lot of conks, and if you can pick off those monks, I would think that you can actually win this battle. We'll see. And also Marinelord will have 3 relics, so props for Marinelord for picking up those relics. He has vision on the other 2 relics as well, so he has a chance to pick up 5 relics again. Doubt Castle? Where would you place a Doubt Castle? Anyways, Marinelord will have stone to make an additional castle very, very soon as well. So I would think that he's gonna drop a castle over here. That could be an idea. Anyways, like I said, 3 relics is 3 relics, and we have seen in the previous game that having 5 relics in an hour-long game is about 8,000 gold. Here from Marinelord, he could also get a decent gold income from those relics. Anyways, market coming up at a quite ugly spot. That's probably not the place where you want to place your market, especially right next to your gold mine. But for now, it appears that he's getting housed, seen by the bunch of foundations being dropped here. He does have a lot of conks, but I'm afraid that he's gonna be so slow going into Imperial because he's investing very heavily into his army, but he's not using it. You need to use this. Sniper has clicked up to Imperial. This is the time to shine for Marinelord. He can pick this army down. Like, there is no Bloodlines on his Conquistadors, but he does have +2 armor. Bloodlines and Husbandry just coming in here for him right now, so I think he needs to wait until Bloodlines does arrive. But then he can probably take this engagement. That Scout Cavalry is dangerously weak. I think it's gonna be picked off by one of those Scorpions. But if he can run in right now and start killing Villagers, he might still be able to turn this around. He's 16 Villagers behind it. He's gonna be severely delayed going into Imperial. There is the fight coming in here. You need to pick off the monks. That's where you start off with. You can't fall back now. When you invest this heavily into your Conquistadors, you can't fall back because your opponent will just outboom you. So you make Conquistadors 2 damage in Castle Age. You can make another castle for Marinelord, but his opponent is going to be an Imperial, and when that happens, Sniper will probably drop a castle somewhere around over here and start making trebs. So I already think that this is a bit too late of an engagement for Marinelord because he has given way too much time for Sniper to shine. Still, at least Marinelord could reboom and he could click up to Imperial himself. That would mean that he's about like 75% behind, which is like 3 minutes if I'm not mistaken. 3 minutes behind into Imperial is not the end of the world, but it's definitely a big deficit to overcome, especially with 12 villagers behind it. I'm not even sure if he has wheelbarrow, so that could be actually much more significant. Still, at least he's going to have 5 relics. He does have the 4th one coming in right now, the 5th one as well. So I gotta say, as we are gonna have a big engagement going over here, all the Scorpions are dead, and the Knight is also bashing down one of those monks. You could engage this one, just fight it. I'm not sure why Marinelord did not fight that one. He could have picked up those monks. If he picks off 4 of those monks, he can just out-micro those knights very easily. He's also going up to Imperial himself, and what do I just see? Would you look at that? Like I said, sometimes players who are not very experienced, Age of Empires players, make some weird approaches. Missionaries! There come the missionaries. Not something that you frequently see. There is going to be a fairly passive castle from Sniper and an archer range probably for skirmishers. Khmer skirmishers are quite okay, and that's exactly what you want against those Conquistadors. Meanwhile, Cavalier is also quite nice for Khmer. So Khmer have fully upgraded Cavaliers. I think there is no overchop over here just yet, but this might be the entry point here for Sniper. I always wondered if they might be worth having 1 or 2 with your fast units just for healing help. Maybe there is. There is going to be the conks moving inside. Might be able to pick off a villager. And it appears that the Sniper will indeed have to run away from this one. There is the Cavalier looping around here though, and this could be more than dangerous. There is still no overchop here, but we are very close to that. And Cavaliers against Conquistadors, Cavaliers should win that fairly easily, especially with such good upgrades. Still missing Iron Casting, but that's on the way. Meanwhile, for Marinelord, he's gonna go for Scalebarding. Spanish Paladins should still be better, but what I'm actually afraid of here for Marinelord is map control. There is the Cavaliers from his opponent, and still, eco numbers in the favor of Sniper. Marinelord will reach Imperial, and the way into the base of Marinelord is wide open. I think there is a hole. Nope, there is no hole just yet. So you want to micro away your forces here, and this is a good engagement here from Marinelord. He even converts one of those Cavaliers. And he's gonna make... Did I see light cavalry for a second? Oh yeah, missionaries. That was a missionary conversion, by the way. Not a monk conversion. This was a missionary conversion. You can see the fate of that missionary going up again. So, Stables coming in here for Marinelord, but he's just going for light cavalry here. He's floating so much stone. He could just make another castle here and start contesting all those gold mines, or make a forward castle here instead of those stables and protect that gold mine that way. Anyways, traps are already up for Sniper, but I feel like he's slow pushing and he's just giving away the momentum that he has had. Meanwhile, Theocracy for Marinelord. Interesting idea, I gotta say. It's not a horrible one, but he really wants to play with conversions. Apparently he wants Illumination, Block Printing, Fervor. So he wants to play and goes for the Spanish Inquisition. That is exactly what we are going to see here. Missionary 65... Wait a second, since when do you have Missionary 65 HP? Huh, this could turn out to be interesting against Cavaliers. Because with Theocracy, you could convert a bunch of those Cavaliers, and Missionaries are definitely harder to kill than Monks. Of course, Monks have better range, but against Cavaliers that shouldn't really matter. Like, Skirmishers will still probably be the tool to pick off, or Crossbows, to pick off those Skirmishers, but I gotta say, it's not an awfully bad idea. It's a weird one, but it's not a horrible one. And especially if you get Block Printing, which is supposed to, in fact, or influence Missionaries as well. This could be 10 range Missionaries. Wait a second with this one. Let's see. I want to see this Block Printing. There is Elite Conquistador coming in here. Light Cavalry falling down on this one. And Marinelord starts to make this happen. Sniper not converting anything here with his Monks. He's losing everything that he has gotten. Oh man. Look at that. Skirmishers going down. There is going to be the Cavaliers engaging right now. Indeed, Missionaries will have 10 range here with Block Printing with 65 HP, which is like 20 more HP compared to a standard Monk and 1 extra range. I think, yeah, Missionaries probably do get Bloodlines, that is why this extra health is there. And with 3 Missionaries, you could convert 3 of those Cavaliers. That might be enough to win this engagement. I'm actually saying that this is an okay one here from Marinelord. He's still behind by 20 villagers, but I am on the point saying, hey, this could look good, especially if he moves in and kills villagers from Sniper here. There's a lot of Conquistadors that could just do hit and run damage over there. Just move in. I don't know if he sees that. Nope, he doesn't see that, but if he just spots that one, he could just move in 5 conks and he can equal out the odds. Indeed, he sees the villagers now over there, and that is the time when he needs to allocate 5 Conquistadors to kill all of this. This is 25 villagers ready to be killed. So now he sees that, now he needs to engage this one. He's continuing with Light Cavalry, which is somewhat head-scratching because now he has a lot of gold available to him. Makes more Trebuchets and Elite Conquistadors, and still, you just need to engage this one with Light Cavalry. You shouldn't run back, just engage this one. Light Cavalry will smash the Skirmishers and Conks will just destroy the Cavaliers. This is a decent engagement here for Marinelord, and like I said, I would even make an argument for dropping a castle here. Marinelord is floating 1.2k stone. Just make a castle here, man, and kill everything. You can push away Sniper from all accessible gold, and that would mean that Sniper is probably stuck with Skirmishers for now. Hey, Ford of Doom, welcome. Appears that he's just trapping down the mining camps for now, but this is looking better and better for Marinelord. He's making this happen here, and late game APM could really be in the favor of this former StarCraft player. Needs to lead camps back to castle. That's also one thing. He could just try to bait his opponent back into his castle fire. I don't think that's super necessary here. I would be more about picking off those few villagers. Indeed, few Light Cavalry finally moving inside. You could just take the fight here to Sniper. Sniper could just always fall back here. He can't run away from the gold mines. If he runs away from the gold, Sniper is gonna be in a major trouble here. And meanwhile, more Light Cavalry to kill the Skirmishers. And exactly. If you can start harassing the gold mines here from Sniper, that's exactly what you want to achieve. I don't see any kind of anti-cavalry unit coming here from Sniper, so I would make an argument for Cavaliers for Marinelord himself. He does have gold access here, and if he makes Cavaliers here, he will just absolutely annihilate those Skirmishers. There is the get out of my game castle here. It's not really a get out of my game castle, but it's a very, very aggressive castle coming from Marinelord. Still, Sniper will be able to start shutting down those castles over here, but even firing up hills, these traps from Marinelord will be able to deal with that one. Not a great fight here for him because he's losing a lot of Conquistadors to Skirmishers, but then he is making it happen. Slowly but surely he's killing villagers. Look at Sniper dropping in villager count. And if this castle goes up, this is gonna be very hard for Sniper to fight, because Sniper will be without gold basically. So castle goes up, indeed, no more villagers on gold. You just need to protect this one from traps, and you are fine. Repair that castle. I think Sniper can still access this gold pile, but still, this is gonna be very tough for him. Oh no! Marinelord cannot deny that tile, actually. He needs fletching on that castle very soon. But still, from a very, very bad point, he managed to turn this around beautifully. So now this is a wide open game. Villager counts dead even. And in fact, Marinelord is the player who does have castles in the middle, and his opponent does not. Hoardings and masonry could be a very good investment here for Marinelord, so that he can have those castles have more HP and survive those traps attacks much, much sturdier. More and more stables coming in. And the other thing here for Marinelord, why is he playing with Hussar when he could just play with Paladins? Like, Spanish Paladins are one of the best in the game. You could just go full Paladins with that one. You don't necessarily need Hussars in this. Still, Hussars are okay, but I feel like when you have Paladins, you should use that. Inquisition! Inquisition! Inquisition for the Spanish. Now, that is a so rare upgrade, I kind of forgot what it actually does. So let's take a look at the tech tree. Increases monk conversion rate, so you will convert faster. And what is he planning to convert? Is he planning to convert Arbs? Apparently he does. He doesn't care. Look at his missionaries. 10 range, Inquisition, and 65 HP. He's making the missionary meta happen. This is super interesting, by the way, because indeed, block printing missionaries are actually having better range than standard monks, and they have more HP, so they're much more resistant in battles. And indeed, they can just consistently convert a bunch of units, which could definitely be a big advantage here. Marinelord definitely has a way better KD as well here, and he just spamming out more and more light cavs. I feel like if he just switched to Paladins right now, or just Cavaliers first, he would probably win the game in like 2 minutes. But now, Sniper will have to play with this one with Trash. Still, what are these Hussars up against? They are full upgrades, and these Skirmishers are almost full upgrades as well. Here, Arblasts, or probably the scariest part of Sniper's army right now. But Marinelord, I said that Golden Pit is a map I would give to Sniper, because I feel like Sniper could be better on those. Open type of maps, but Marinelord has played exceptionally well on this one. Again, some weird, some goofy moves, like Missionaries here is still head-scratching, but it's working quite nicely, and he does have a very exceptional Conquistador micro here. Please don't micro your Missionaries right into the castle's range, but if he just had like 2 more traps to take this down, he would just win this game, but he doesn't need it. Marinelord equals it out 2-2, and damn, this is actually closer than expected. Like, game number 1 was a disaster for Marinelord, like, horrible games for him, to be honest. Game number 2, Team Islands, he just surrendered at the wrong time. He was in a position to win that game. But after that arena, slow, grindy game, managed to win that. And now, with Golden Pit, this was a very convincing win for him. I feel like Sniper did not do damage while he had the chance to do that. So, invested very heavily into Scorpions, but didn't really contest any major resources from his opponent, didn't really harass woodlines or so. This is cute, by the way. Look at this stone wall. I know this is an overchop, but this is still so cute to look at. Stone wall locking down the back of your waist right next to a massive overchop here. But still, Marinelord playing this beautifully. And I want to take a look at KDs. Double the kills. Compared to the death count. 18 units converted here for Marinelord. And what's even more interesting, Marinelord has won this by 3 buildings raised. I think all 3 of them were mining camps, by the way. So, crazy, crazy game. Hey, Apreshpacal. Welcome. So, Sniper had the better eco for most of the game, but yet again, Marinelord, 3000 gold from the relics is not something to underestimate, so despite the fact that Sniper had more villager count, Marinelord made it happen. Insanely good KD. So for such a matchup, this was a damn good kill death ratio here for Marinelord, and we are going to the deciding game here. And of course, like I said, each game victory secures 20% of the prize pool to the opponent, or to yourself. But it's more about, yeah, who's gonna win here? Because if this was a best of 5, we would have a deciding game. And that is something that could go for bragging rights, right? So it appears that Marinelord is AFK for a second, Sniper will make the lobby, and we will go for the final game, which is going to be Hideout. Like I said, I would say that on closed out maps, I am giving a very good shot on Marinelord's chances. So I'm actually saying that I would say 60% chance for Marinelord to win this, 40% for the Sniper. And that could be a very interesting outcome of this one. And I'm actually hoping that both players from this matchup will sign up for Visible Cup, because that's something that we are hosting together with Robo, in case you are unaware of that. That is gonna be a semi-pro event with Hidden Cup 2 or Hidden Cup 3 settings. And that is open to everybody who is not playing in Hidden Cup 3, up to 128 participants. And the point is to have a competitive event for semi-pro players without them being absolutely destroyed by pros. So we already have a decent amount of signups, by the way. So in 2 days we had like 30 signups, which is quite beautiful. Some top-level players available as well. Like Feig is signed up for Visible Cup, Cloud, Daniel, Vodka, Project Belgium, Soxy, Dragonstar. Some very good players already sign up. I hope that these guys will also play, because it will be very nice. So, yep, a lot of people haven't heard about Marinelord because he just, like in the AoE2 community, because he just started playing in November, I think. He didn't play in the Woobly times. He only played in the, what is that? In, well, Definitive Edition. That's what I want to say. So, we are going back into the lobbies, by the way. While we're waiting here, I want to give a shout out to Sniper and Marinelord. They are both streaming their point of views in French. So in case you want to see their POVs, it's definitely worth checking out, especially if you speak French, because they have some decent viewer numbers as well. They are both of them fairly big streamers, and also Sniper is a caster in Spanish as well. Will Sniper and Marinelord play Visible Cup? They didn't sign up just yet, but I hope they will. So I will definitely message them asking if they want to play, because I would love to see them here. Like, I will do my best to try and get most of the semi-pro players into Visible Cup. So, like, there's a bunch of players who I would love to see in Visible Cup. Where is that? So, like, bunch of Taiwanese players. Like, I think this might be Cloud Smurf, I'm not sure, but this is definitely Cloud Smurf. Winchester, for example, would be nice. There is AJ, there is Stark, there is Chart. Rex has signed up. Bars would be beautiful to have. Draken, FedEx, Kasva, Demon Sheep, also a former StarCraft player. Noisik, Ink, Bagum has signed up. Jibatong would be nice to have. Would be beautiful to have Nili. Vodka, Huang. Then there is Ganji, Baba Urum. Sito would be amazing to have, because there's like a big community in France. So Sito would also be nice. Scotty as well, Hallis. What about Jordan? Well, Jordan isn't playing Definitive Edition right now, so that is not going to happen. But, well, there is a lot of players, like Derp would be nice to have, because he was decent on Woobly. Would be nice to have T90 Dobbs signing up. Like, T90 did play in Aspiring Experts, which was somewhat comparable in style to this event, so it would be nice to have him. John Slow, Kamigawa, would be beautiful to have these guys. Andorin hasn't played a lot of 1v1s as far as I know in Woobly times, but I would really love to see him. I think Soxy already signed up, so I'm hoping that most of the people from this list here in the top 100 will sign up for Visible Cup. We have 128 spots. Of course, like I said, the players who play in Hidden Cup will not be able to play this one because this event is meant for semi-pro players and not the closest of all pros. So, back into the games because we do have the game launching here. So, let's find Marinelord. And there it is. We are going into Hideout here with Britain Mirrors, apparently. So both players know the meta here. I love that we are actually finishing this series with Britain Mirrors. Like, if you are playing Mirror Civilizations, then it's really more about execution, reactions, and not necessarily about civilization matchups here to talk about. So we're going to have Sniper in the left in blue, and the right side is going to be Marinelord in red. So, looking at the map here, the first thing that stands out is that both boards are on the outside for Marinelord. Definitely not advantageous for him. The stone is quite exposed here on the right side, but his gold is quite nice. For hideout gold spawn, this is actually a quite good gold. Might not even be scouted from the outside by your opponent, so this is a beautiful gold to have. I don't like the fact, though, that both stones and this gold over here on the right side is within the range of one tower. So if you have one tower here from Sniper, he can lock down all three of these minerals, and that could be very scary for Marinelord. The other thing that is interesting to take a look at is that it appears that Sniper is having a much better map. So both players start off with 5 tiles and 4 tiles of starting gold, and each player does have 4 tiles of extra neutral gold. This is the one that belongs to Sniper. However, the one that belongs to Marinelord is very far away from him and very close to Sniper. So if Sniper is able to just hold this line here, he will essentially have a lot more gold available to him. So very, very disadvantageous map, I would say, for Marinelord because of this gold spawn. This is a horrible gold spawn for him, and that means that he's gonna have to play very aggressive on this one. Hey GMVT, thanks a lot, it's much appreciated. How much can you zoom in and out? This is the most I can zoom out. I think if you play on a 4K resolution, you can zoom out a bit more. Zoom in, this is the maximum, so this is the 2 stances I can actually go into. So for me, this is the max zoom out. I think this is perfect for casting. You can see the details, but it's not super closed up. For any kind of combat that requires a bit more zoom, you can zoom in a bit more. Anyways, for Marinelord, he's going to have that, like, he will need to keep that gate open to lure that boar in. I'm not sure if he knows that or not, but the gate is gonna close itself. Oh, look at that! Look at that, man! This is not something that you commonly see. In fact, for most pro players, they are keeping the gate open with a sheep. Now, this is why I said that having that 9 food on your villager is very dangerous, because the villager is slower, but Marinelord saves it. Damn, he has some weird ways of playing things. This is why I love seeing players who don't have a lot of H1 experience, but still play on a high level, because it's so weird. Normally, this is supposed to be done by keeping the gate open with the sheep, but he lures that boar in by taking 1 bite in the gate. It definitely works, but this was more than risky for him. Lost a lot of HP on that villager, actually. So, that's a close one for him. Anyways, as you can see, though, he can actually lame away that sheep. This is why keeping the gate open with the sheep is somewhat less beneficial. Let's see if he actually utilizes that. Steal the sheep, man. Take it. Oh, he's playing fair. He's playing fair. He could have just run in with the scout and start harassing villagers inside. He could have taken that sheep away, but he's gonna play it fair. Oh yeah, this villager just ran through the other villas, by the way. Yep, I totally agree with Under Nomad. If Marinelord starts to look at tournaments, he will be able to polish his build orders much better, his early moves, and that is really what separates him from being a great player. Yet again, you don't want to send out your weak villagers to resources here. Like, I think you should realize that this sheep is actually red. Like, it's not something super hard, it's more about just keeping it there. Oh, he sent it back. He sent it back. He does not want to actually gain advantage from this. If this was like a big prize money tournament, you were supposed to take that sheep. So every bit of advantage you can actually get, take that. You could even kill that with your scout and let your opponent have less sheep, especially in a Britain's matchup. That could be very interesting. Now, I did not see how many villagers Marinelord had on sheep initially. That's an interesting thing to talk about. With Britons, you only need 5 villagers on sheep to start off with, because 5 Briton villagers on sheep is equivalent to 6 normal villagers on sheep. So I would say that that's something he also needs to take a look at. For Marinelord, I wouldn't actually say that taking a look at tournaments is what he needs. It's more about taking a look at pro players' recordings in what he can analyze. So for tournament games, oftentimes you don't see minor details of the build orders. So if you just take a look at my casting, for example, we did not see how many villagers Marinelord had on his initial sheep. So if you want to master build order, you probably are better off if you just watch pro players' recordings. And stop it, pause it, go back in it. When I'm learning new build orders, I sometimes do that as well. Like if I see a rated game from 2 pro players, I see a build order I haven't seen before, I'm gonna just save the recording and watch it later, take some notes, and try to learn that build order for myself. Now, Marinelord is going for what appears to be a Drushfast castle here. Major dislike towards that, though. Same thing for Sniper. What's up with this one? That's 4 militias here. Why? Your walls protect you perfectly. If you don't go for Man at Arms Towers, this is gonna be Man at Arms Towers though from Sniper. That was what I was thinking about. Like, unless you go Man at Arms Towers, this is not something that you should do. Like, the Drush is definitely not something that you want to do here. Marinelord tries to delay those villagers a tiny bit, but this is not going to happen for him. But indeed, this is gonna be a Towers opening here. Marinelord is gonna be slower into field age by a tiny bit. And he will not have Man at Arms just yet by the time his opponent already has Man at Arms. By the way, Marinelord also has a 21 villager up, so it appears that he wanted to go for Man at Arms archers here. Indeed, the Man at Arms upgrade comes in right now. Needs to repair that gate very soon though, because that gate is very close to going down. But I feel like this is something that Marinelord can definitely win here. He will need to wait until this first tower is dropped, but I feel like I said, tower here could definitely cripple Marinelord's resource income. Anyways, counter tower will be needed, and I like this reaction as well. This is also good. Send out the villagers, you always have more. You always have more. And indeed, this tower is just gonna go down. Perfect reactions there from Marinelord, I gotta say. He's gonna be fine, he can just walk back to berries, and meanwhile these villagers are basically idle for now. Marinelord has added 1 additional man at arms though, so he needs to win this fight now because that's a bigger investment. Comes up with the archer range. And meanwhile for Sniper, he doesn't have any villagers on stone, so it's not the end of the world for him that this was unsuccessful. But his eco is weaker this way, because he has 3 villagers basically idled running back. Anyways, like I said, this was very exposed here for Marinelord, but I think that Sniper did not see that. Actually, Sniper sees that. In this case, it's somewhat head-scratching that he went for the berries towering instead of trying to tower both stones, because that would cut away Marinelord from any kind of counter-towering. Anyways, with 5 man-at-arms over here, you probably will have to pull those guys back. Don't open the gate for man-at-arms, please. Okay, that's nice from Sniper. He's luring away the man-at-arms from his other villagers, but, well, this lady might actually die here if you're not seeing quick walls, and that would be beautiful from Marinelord. Indeed, he's cleaning up those archers as well. Picked off 1 villagers. And this is, like I said, more than enough for you. You just trade off your own man-at-arms to the opponent's man-at-arms, and you are more than happy with it. You already picked off 1 villager, and you also had a lot of idle time for Sniper. Great start, I gotta say, from Marinelord. Much more fluid, although I don't like the reaction of pure skirms here. You should know that you have the advantage, and you can still go for a mixture of archers and skirmishers, but I feel like going for pure skirms over here is not something that you want to do here. And also, either pull those man-at-arms back and use them later, or just be aggressive with them, but once your opponent does have enough archers, you will not be able to use those at all. Anyways, Flexion coming in here for both sides very soon, and I'm still scared about Marinelord just going for pure skirms here. He is supposed to be going for a mixture of archers and skirmishers here with Britons, but going pure skirms is definitely not something he wants, especially against archers that do have fletching, and he's still missing fletching himself, and that is an okay-ish fight to take for Sniper. Will still decide to fall back here, and he's gonna lose 2 archers in this one. In fact, he could lose 3. This is more than okay now for Marinelord. With a good micro, you could have actually salvaged this for Sniper, but he's gonna lose all 3 of his archers here, and the man-at-arms skirmishers will march forward. Especially once fletching arrives for Marinelord, this could be quite decent. Still, for now, I would make an argument for trying to bash your way in here to the gate. You don't see any critical resources here if you're Marinelord, so you don't know where your opponent's berries are, you don't know where your opponent's golds are, so you're absolutely blind here. Meanwhile, for Sniper, he wants to bash his way in here. You just need to allocate one Voyager for repairs and you're more than happy. And meanwhile on their side, these skirmishers will be just enough to deny any kind of second layering coming up here. Still, Marinelord is missing fletching though, despite the fact that he does have the resources sufficient to do that, and great value here from Marinelord. Just needs to keep on pressing this one. He forces a defensive tower. This is actually quite critical because this will mean that Sniper will have to mine some stone to make sure that he can actually drop additional town centers in Castle Age, which means that he will have to allocate some Voyagers from other resources, meaning that he will probably have weaker eco overall. So forcing a defensive tower with just a few man-arms and skirmishers here is definitely a reasonable value for the units, and you can still try to go inside here now. Perfect. Perfect from Marinelord, I would say, as a start. He still defends his base quite nicely against those man-at-arms with just a single archer, but still missing fletching. He's getting close to quick up to Castle Age though. And meanwhile on your side, like I said, when you have that was previously 3 villagers on stone, this basically means that well, you will have less resources from other sources, and you can see that there is going to be a panic wall coming in here. There might be still a hole in between the woodland and that market, but it is already a bunch of villagers allocated to do this, and this is perfect value for Marinelord. He's causing so much chaos with those initial men-at-arms now. Once those men-at-arms get through the walls, this is more than fine for him. He might even be able to deny this market or delay it quite a bit, and he himself is clicking up to Castle Age right now. His opponent is unable to get inside here. He still has the man-at-arms, but this will not really change anything. No fletching on right now from Marinelord, and he can still bash his ways through this house here. This might be a fast game here, I gotta say, and now he finds the hole in which he can actually just loop around and go straight into his opponent's base. There's gonna be a quick wall coming up here for Sniper, so he's gonna salvage the situation. And like I said, the only concern I have for Marinelord is that he's not having fletching. Otherwise, he's executing this very, very nicely. So, prevent second layering here and cause so much chaos inside Sniper's base. The start from Marinelord in the first 2 games wasn't very promising. Even though game 2 was good, he just surrendered at the wrong time. But then, game number 3, 4, 5 were actually very impressive from him. Especially the final 2 games are very, very good from him. He does have a bit of an issue, like, for example, with the idle farmers over there, so it's not perfect, as you can see, having these idles here. In fact, that's a lot of idle time on your villagers, but he did enough damage to compensate for that. So I would say that this is more than decent. Definitely more than decent. So, with that, there is going to be a mixture of archers and skirmishers coming up here from Marinelord, and now he has +1 armor, now he has fletching. I think he's missing resources though to make Bodkin arrow right as he reaches Castle Age. In fact, he will just have resources to make a crossbowman. I think he should have avoided going for the extra armor, just wait until he gets Castle Age and go for the Bodkin arrow instead. He does have 2 Voyagers queued up as well alongside wheelbarrow. Why is he not making crossbowman upgrade? So he's floating basically a bunch of resources in the form of 2 Voyagers over there that could be utilized to go for Bodkin arrow and crossbow. TC over here is not bad. In fact, I actually liked it quite a bit. So it's gonna be on the stone, it's gonna be on the gold. Other TC on the wood line is quite nice as well. So I would say that this is actually okay for him as too. And 50% towards Castle Age is going to be the Sniper. So he will probably go pure skirms now. Even though I think he can still play it with skirms and archers. There is going to be, of course, a bit of a villager advantage for Sniper, but that will equal out because I don't think that Sniper has wheelbarrow and Sniper hasn't reached Castle Age just yet. So in the end, that will probably mean that Marinelord probably has like 1 or 2 villagers lead. And a market coming up just now. I could have made an argument for dropping a university instead of a market and then going for ballistics here. And he will also need Bodkin arrow. He will have the resources now to make Bodkin. That is a much needed upgrade here in early Castle Age for him. Britons already have extra range from their Castle Age, but really the extra damage helps out quite a bit here. So Bodkin arrow indeed on the way. And he's gonna wall off the right side. I kinda like that one as well. He could get 2 rigs for himself, and like I said, Because of the gold spawns, you will have to play this very aggressive if you are Marinelord, and so far he's doing a decent job with that one. Pure skirms from Sniper will not be enough against that, so he's gonna have to go for elite skirmishers over here. And Marinelord already will have 3 town centers up. He just needs to consistently produce villagers here on 3 of them, which will work for him indeed. And meanwhile, Sniper is just adding TC number 2 and 3, and the hole is wide open here. Sniper is patrolling this hill, and why is Marinelord not walking inside? He could just walk in and start killing. He wants to engage those skirmishers. Okay, now he's going back. Just walk in here. You can pick off 2 villagers from this point, for example, or you can just harass the farmers. You can do so many things with these crossbows, especially now that you have 8 range on those, because these are Britain crossbows. Still, appears to have a defensive siege workshop. I'm not against it. You see that your opponent does have elite skirmishers, so Manganol is a decent reaction to that one. I don't think adding Britain cavalry is really something that go for. If he goes in, he loses his army. Not a bad thing to realize, but if you can pick off 3 or 4 villagers at a price of something like, yeah, men-at-arms doesn't really matter anymore. This is basically 5 crossbows. Losing 5 crossbows to pick off 3 villagers, I think, in early Castle Age is a good trade. Especially considering that your opponent did not have elite skirm by the time I said that. So basically it would be pure skirms against crossbows, in which crossbows can take a fairly okay fight. So now that he has elite skirm, I am also against going in, but I feel like when his opponent didn't have elite skirms, he could have walked in and picked off 2 villagers. Anyways, it's quite dangerous to leave this Manganol wide open like that, because if your opponent just happens to have a scout available, I think Sniper has lost his initial scout, but had he still possessed it, he could just pick this Manganol off, so don't have your Manganol this off position, please. Anyways, there's going to be the TC landing the shots on the skirmishers, so these resource gatherers will be absolutely okay for now, and meanwhile in the north, Marinelord is going to be fully walled. He does have a decent villager lead. 8 villagers is not super big, but it's quite considerable. However, there is no answer just now to pick off those skirmishers. There might be a villager casualty into this one, and in the end Marinelord is going to be forced to fight this one. For now this is quite okay for him, and I don't think that he should engage this one, just wait for the Manganol to arrive. And ballistics is definitely something that could help. Like I said, this is why I'm not a major fan of this market instead of the university with ballistics. Now it's gonna be university coming in here though for Marinelord. So, if he had ballistics right now, he could probably engage this one, because he has superior range with 8 compared to 7, and with ballistics, this is definitely something that you can just micro out. A monastery coming in here from Marinelord. Yet again, he's gonna put a big emphasis on picking up relics, but he probably can pick up 2 relics guaranteed. The rest of it is somewhat contested. I don't think that he can pick these 2 up here. And it appears that Sniper will be cornered over here, as he's also gonna attack into crossbowmen now. Still, I think he's going to be able to fight his way out here. Heal advantage will definitely benefit Marinelord here. He has full Castle Age upgrades against a missing armor here from Sniper. Let's see, that's a beautiful mango shot, but still, skirmishers rushing in the face of the Manganol. Nice micro there from Sniper. As long as he stays within the range of that Manganol, or within the minimal range of that Manganol, there is basically no chance for that Mango to kill it. However, once ballistics is there for Marinelord, he could just pick those guys off very easily from a distance. Especially with those skirms missing armor, and with the Manganol landing a shot. This is over here on the right side for Sniper. He's gonna lose his entire army. When you make skirms, having the archer armor is very critical, otherwise your opponent's archers will still be able to do decent damage on you. So Manganol crawling forward here for Sniper. Same thing goes for him. Leaving this Manganol out dangerously exposed is quite bad. But anyways, 3 town centers for Marinelord, 3 as well for Sniper, but Sniper has 8 villagers deficit right now to overcome. And one thing to point out here is ballistics will finally arrive here from Marinelord, as nice splits we can actually observe with his crossbows, beautiful splits. So the thing is that killing Britain crossbows with Manganols is tough, because Britain crossbows have 8 range, Manganols have 7 range, so you can actually out micro this one. This is particularly true when you are actually close to your opponent geographically. So both players are French. This means that they're probably playing on West Europe server, and that means that there is low ping in between them, and you can just micro away from the range of that Manganol. Did he get fletching? Of course, he did get button arrow now as well. So he has full Castle Age upgrades for those crossbows. He's gonna drop a bunch of outposts here, And Marinelord does have decent vision on the map. He's gonna start picking up relics like a madman as well. He's gonna be the relic man. So just pick up all those relics. He already has the first monk moving outside. That is gonna be a decent advantage for him. And I don't think that Sniper is doing it right now. He will just get his university, and this is getting scarier and scarier here for Sniper. He will have a decent eco, but still missing ballistics. Defensive castle coming up for him though. It's an okay castle, protecting the stone, but the gold here is wide open still. This gold is wide open as well. So I wouldn't call this a very, very good castle. It's an okay one because it's on hill, but this will not protect your gold. So I would probably build the same castle here, but like I said, he will not be able to protect those golds for now. Anyways, why is he actually knocking down that wall? Because when there is like a hole right next to it, excuse me. Yep, I also like Marinelord's focus on relics quite a bit. Like, I think Marinelord is over-focusing it a tiny bit because sometimes he's very early and he sacrifices potential military production for a chance to pick up relics. So it's a bit of over-focus, I would say. That's a decent mango shot, by the way. And another decent mango shot coming up here from Sniper, but he's still gonna lose that mangonel. Castle goes up, and that means there is no chance to push that hill anymore. So I think he is a bit too early picking up the relics in some cases. However, I definitely like that he's putting a big focus on that. That is something that even a lot of pro players are not doing. And free villager pick here. For him, that's very nice to do. So, stone walls here from Sniper, I like that defense. But he's still wide open from the north. This lady is just gonna be like, oh yeah, hi. Hi. And yeah, the skirms are running in the other direction, so there's a bit of a confusion here. Everybody's running everywhere. Wolferino is just gonna travel the world alongside these skirmishers. And I think this is the moment when Marinelord notices, hey, my opponent actually has a base here, because he was just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna walk in here. So, with this, there is going to be just one relic for him right now, but he's picking up the next ones very soon. The castle here, this is not a good castle. If you want to lock down this choke point, you build this castle somewhere around on this hill. At least one tile of this castle needs to be on a hill, so it gets the hill bonus. Although I would have preferred it somewhere around over here. Somewhere where it's within the range of that gold. It cannot be too much on the front, because that would give the advantage for Sniper to trap it down from a hill later on. But with Marinelord being faster to Imperial here at 106 villagers click up, he's going to be the aggressor in this one, going for the traps here. And it appears that Sniper will loop all the way around. Now, if one thing I want to point out with Marinelord, I don't like that he hasn't even walled this off to a tiny bit. Like, this could be extremely dangerous because those crossbows could do a lot of damage. Luckily for Marinelord, he's gonna spot this one because, well, those villagers are walking right within his line of sight, as you can see. Oh man, Sniper even attacking those outposts, so it will be revealed for Marinelord that something is coming his way. Question is, how is he going to react to this one? Doesn't appear to have any kind of reaction just now. Anyways, Imperial Age is going to be there as well for Sniper very soon, but he's like a solid 30% behind, which is like a minute or so. And like I said, for Marinelord, he's gonna have to get that gold here. That's probably the ugliest mining camp I have seen in a long time. You could make it a bit closer, please. 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 Anyways, there is going to be Yeoman coming in. That's a well-timed upgrade here. He's just gonna finish Yeoman before reaching Imperial, and then he will need to start making traps. I think it's a bit too late, though. Now that I take a look at this one, he is supposed to start making traps right now, because every second matters in the trap wars like that. Bracer, Yeoman, Arbalest coming in though, with villagers still not reaching this ugly mining camp, and it appears that Sniper is just gonna place very, very defensive here. Stonewall of the right side. Interesting that he's not even trying to put any aggression on the right side here. Meanwhile, I somewhat struggle to understand how these skirmishers are actually allowed to do damage here to a villager, almost pick one off. But now it's gonna be crossbows, already 11 range. Arbalest is just hitting him from Marinelord, so he's gonna have almost full upgrade. I'm not sure if he has Thumbring, but come on, man. Don't do this to me. This is ugly. This is so ugly for that mining camp. But anyways, Trebuchet is already on the way from Marinelord. He has enough stone to make a second castle, and that could help quite a bit for him. And also a technology that could be extremely useful here for either of the sides would be Warwolf. Because Warwolf basically guarantees you trap war victory against a player who doesn't have Warwolf. So for that reason, I would prefer to have Warwolf being researched by either of these players, although it's tricky because you are starting to produce traps right now. Pushing this hill is still going to be hard for Marinelord because hill advantage is quite major here, but I like the fact that he's trying to pick off that archer range, slowing down the production of his opponent. There is going to be a few skirmishers in the party, but I don't think a few skirmishers really change anything here because those ARPs have so big range that they will just snap them down from a big distance. And also, missing the +2 armor is Sniper. Meanwhile, you already see that +2 available for Marinelord. Oh man, he wants to get through the walls there. That's not the way you play that. When you play for trap wars, you actually attack that castle. It's tough, but you can't just start knocking down walls like that, even though you might be able to get through. The problem is that I feel like Sniper could just second layer that one very soon. And Sniper on the other side, even worse. He was supposed to be producing trebuchets all day on this castle. And he's not producing any. He should have like 2 traps by now and start counter-trapping his opponent. He doesn't have any kind of defense against those traps, and he's going for Yellow Man before the trap wars here. He will just surrender that castle to his opponent because he has no tools to stop those traps from taking down that castle. He can allocate a bunch of villagers for repairs, but that is gonna cost him a lot of stone. Repairing against 3 trebuchets requires like 20 villagers, even though this is uphill firing, so you will probably be still fine with something like 15-16 villagers repairing your castle. But still, you have to repair that for minutes because you still don't have a single trap that could actually counter-trap this one, as we are actually seeing some capped rams in the making. Marinelord is going to start adding some light cavalry inside. I'm not against that. Britain light cavalry is very bad, by the way, as we also have some ARBs on the northern side of the map. Marinelord is smashing this game. Look at that, 73 military compared to 49. Wait, no, it's 73 for Sniper and 49 for Marinelord. Marinelord does have a way better eco though. It appears that he has lost a few Arblasts to the castle fire here. Warwolf could definitely help out for Marinelord here as well, because that would help against those skirms quite a bit as well. And for now he's gonna stonewall this one. This is not a way you actually stonewall this one, for a reason I will explain in a second. Just take a look at this fight here. Arbs will go down here, and this is a bad fight here for Marinelord, even though Sniper doesn't have the extra 4 armor on those guys, and he's missing chemistry as well, so Marinelord actually could take this fight. 32 Arbs against 43 and a bunch of skirmishers here as well, but upgrades are much better for Marinelord. He could trade quite decently against this one, and if he had Warwolf on those traps, this would be an amazing fight for him. Still lacking upgrades though is going to be the Sniper. So gold control is an issue for Marinelord, but when he has 3 relics available to him, that's actually quite decent, but that's not a whole lot of relics. So if you take a look at the monastery of his opponent, Sniper, where is that? Sniper has 1 relic available. I think he could actually pick up a second one. Identical military counts for both players, but Sniper has less villagers than his opponent does. More and more traps coming in here as final armor is on the way as well. But meanwhile on the north, these rams are actually bashing their ways through. Would be nice to have capped ram available, because those battering rams are slow, taking down 45 walls. Second castle coming up here, and with no castle available for Sniper, he cannot do Warwolf, he cannot do traps. He's gonna go for capped rams. And I did see the light cavalry or scale armor being researched for Marinelord. Indeed, he's going to add a few stables himself for light cavalry. Like I said, Britain light cavalry is very poor, but it's still light cavalry that could do decent damage here against the skirmishers. Still missing the final armor is going to be Sniper, but he's going to be able to push this castle. And did Marinelord just cancel that at like 20, 25, 30%? I feel like that's a bit premature. He could have potentially made that castle. Maybe he was afraid of the rams coming here. But yeah, rams is definitely something that could cause chaos here in the lines of Marinelord. On the other side though, if he makes capped rams, which is something that he does right now, he could kill a lot of villagers here at the back of Sniper's base. And he needs to finish these stone walls right now, and he needs some kind of answer to those capped rams like onagers. Light cavalry could be an answer, but you still need a lot of upgrades for those. And if you want to play with light cavalry, you need to kill the opponent's Arblasts, because Arblasts will just finish off those light cavs so fast. So for now, this villager is very committed towards beating down that ram. That is not going to happen. And you will need more light cavalry to kill those rams. And this is the other reason why you're not making a wall like that. You don't want to incorporate your castle into part of a wall because it's so much easier to take down, especially with rams. You want that wall in front of your castle, so that your castle is safe. Anyways, there is not enough light cavalry here for Marinelord to bash down these rams. Maybe he can pull this one off with just his skirms and orbs, but this castle is quite exposed. Best thing Marinelord can do with this castle right now is probably just kill the orbs and then continue to spam in light cavalry, but he's having population issues. This is a much better castle on this hilltop though, although I'm not sure if this is going to go up. Still, there is 2 rams alive, and this castle will probably go down, but at what price? Look at that. Marinelord going for the relics with the monastery, Sniper dropping down to 95 eco, and that's a lot of eco being lost. A Sniper, true waller boy here, 45 walls on the left side, and don't tell me! Marinelord keeps this castle up. I think the rams went down just in time. 146 HP left, that is like 1% of the health of the castle. And Sniper will get pushed back. In this case, this is a game for Marinelord. He's having a very big eco advantage. 26 villagers, the castle is up here, he will have this gold mine, and he's harassing the eco from the north. And yeah, that is masonry indeed. And meanwhile, this gold pile will be dangerously exposed for Sniper here. Sniper has all of his gold quite exposed. North, there is a push here, but it appears that Marinelord is just gonna push back. And the score difference tells the whole story. 11,000 score for Marinelord, 8,000 for Sniper. That is the difference maker. The villager counts, the military counts are better for Marinelord. And he's playing like a madman. He's absolutely playing like a madman here. So the thing is that at this point, the only way I see Sniper winning this one is if Marinelord throws away a lot of Arblasts here to skirmishers. Otherwise, this is gonna be damn tough, and I feel like what Marinelord needs indeed is those crappy Britain light cavalry without bloodlines, but it's still light cav, you know, and they will still wrecked all of those elite skirms. Meanwhile, players are getting close to chopping through, well, they're not close to chopping through, but they're actually close to their opponent's base. Sniper does have some issues here, by the way. With the wood line, you're supposed to be dropping lumber camps over here to make sure that you're safe. Meanwhile, though, it appears that Marinelord, like I said, he needs to make sure he doesn't throw away his orbs to skirmishers, because that is exactly what we have seen here. So, for Sniper, he needs to add more lumber camps here to the edge of the map, because his wood eco is just inefficient. So, Dogao told me that basically every time you can fit a lumber camp right next to the previous one, you should do it, because this is horribly inefficient. If you take a look at Marinelord, this is how it is supposed to look like. Super efficient with wood gathering, and we'll probably see those statistics at the end of the game, that he probably had way more wood accessible to him. And I like how he also has some outposts. Soon this could be tower time for him. And overall, Sniper's wood eco, 42 villagers on wood, 47 for Marinelord, but Marinelord has a much stronger wood income here. Meanwhile, this is not a great engagement here, especially if the Arbalasts will get some downhill shots on them. But Marinelord has a much better eco, so he could just engage this directly with skirms against skirms here. As with Warwolf traps, he could also push that hill against those skirmishers. Just don't lose the Arbalest to your skirms, that's all I request from you. But it appears that this is not going to happen. He's just gonna trade off his own skirms, and this is one of the beauty of the mirror matchups. If you have the stronger eco, you can just trade the identical units to the opponent's ones. Anyways, right side might get pushed here from Marinelord, but for now I think he's quite fine. He's pop-capped his opponent, 160 free population, constantly losing villagers through harassment here on this gold mine, and this gold mine could also fall in the hands of Marinelord, and really exceptionally good performance from him. So he had a bad map in this game, a very bad map. So this was definitely a sniper-sided map, and he also makes it happen. Mirror Civilizations. His first 2 games were sloppy, especially game number 1. That was horrible from Marinelord, and I was scared that he would just get destroyed. But the previous 3 games, damn, this guy is on fire. Someone saying positive about non-hum mirrors. Like, mirror civ is probably perfect for testing the real skill of the players. That's something you can always say, right? So, traps, I don't think that this trap actually has Warwolf available. We could check the tech tree, but I don't want to miss any kind of combat. And meanwhile, for Marinelord, he's gonna send in the light cavalry on the north. Voyager rerolling this one, so guess what? No entry here. And meanwhile, on their side, these skirms will also get cleaned up here, unless you actually open the gate up for them. Don't open the gate, please, like that. That could cost you games. But anyways, for now, Sniper is holding, but Marinelord is definitely in a better position, I would say. Onager cutting is definitely something that could be in the consideration now. For either player, to be honest, because if Sniper can do one good onager cutting, he could actually rebound into this one. Relic counts, I think it's 3 against 2. Indeed, Sniper does have 2 relics, Marinelord does have 3. So, slight advantage for Marinelord there, and credits for Sniper for rebooming very, very well here. So, he has 110 Voyagers, he managed to reboom quite nicely. His KD is quite poor though, 170 to 260 in mirror matchups, that's quite disappointing. As there is apparently a big staring contest in between the lady and the light cavalry here. Or, yeah, this is just like the You Shall Not Pass scene from Lord of the Rings, right?
Yay.
Or at least from a reboot movie, because this is a different actor, definitely. Anyways, light cavalry now flooding inside on the north. This is walled off still, so they will not get inside over here. And Sniper is just camping this hill and readying the army. Marinelord is definitely the aggressor in this game, I gotta say, and he could pick off a few Voyagers on the wood line. Now is the time for a few towers to start harassing the opponent's wood eco. That would be beautiful to have, and just cause even more pain here to Sniper. Sniper is out of stone, by the way, so he cannot make a castle on this hill, and this could end up being a doubt castle here. I feel like Sniper does have superior skirm numbers. This looks scary for Marinelord. He does have what appears to be like 18 skirms against 24, and there's a bunch of arbalasts available as well here, 36 against 28. Indeed, Marinelord is massively outnumbered over here. He's floating 8,000 food, by the way, 2,000 stone. That's another thing that he needs to address. He could just mass a much bigger army earlier, so he's floating so many resources. Because he's somewhat, like, sometimes he's playing very passive and he just stockpiles a bunch of resources because of that. But anyways, light cavalry flying outside over here. Monks converting arbalasts. He's using every bit of a unit that he can actually get for himself. There is the converted arbalest indeed, with a very short life. But still, as long as he can just continue popping out more skirms alongside light cavalry, I think he should be fine. Like, skirm and light cav right now feels like something that is okay for Marinelord, because his opponent doesn't have anything against that cavalry, so cavalry will always take some very advantageous fights here. And I like Sniper's moves here though. He's running inside and wants to kill the arbalest with his own skirmishers. That's a very, very nice way of doing things. Here, as Rams exchange fire in between these two, Marinelord will probably have to pull back his own arbalest, but meanwhile Sniper is losing way too many skirmishers in this engagement here, especially with more and more light cavalry flooding inside. And this appears to be Marinelord's sided now. Sniper dropping to 46 military, Marinelord at 80, and he's constantly pop capped. This is crazy. Sniper is running dry on resources, Marinelord is floating like a bunch of million resources here. And that is just absolutely beautiful. Again, this gold mine is denied from Sniper, and that means that he's running short on gold. And meanwhile, Marinelord does have his own neutral gold, and that means that he's gonna have the gold mine advantage now. And with that, Sniper will probably be forced to fight this one with trash units. It appears he wants to run outside to get the gold. Might have been a misplay because these guys will just get massacred down by light cavalry. And I think this is the end of the story here for the Sniper. Nowhere to run now. These parasite gates will fall like nothing to those rams, and this castle will now go up, meaning that the Marinelord will be able to get that gold for himself, even though it's going to be slightly inefficient gold mining because of those fortified walls. But still, it is going to be gold mine for him. And Marinelord 91 military, Sniper 21. Amazing games by Marinelord here, I gotta say. Like I said, first game was very, very sloppy, but damn, the upcoming games, like Game 3, 4, and 5, were actually amazing by Marinelord, and he's gonna grind it out and win it 3-2. Like I said, this was a play of 5, so every game victory accounts for 20% of the prize pool, so that means that we will have $80 for Sniper and 120 for Marinelord. I think this was sponsored by Sniper or one of his community, or like the French community or so. I'm not exactly certain because there is no information about that on AoE Zone, but still, very nice series, and I'm super happy that I could actually cast this one, and I'm looking forward to seeing these players play in the future. This will be uploaded to YouTube as well, because this feels like a very, very good series. Overall, I will just upload this as the entire series, because this could have been a perfect best of 5 as well. So, KD's beautiful for Marinelord. This is crazy. 443 to 279 in a mirror matchup is crazy. Like, this is not just good, this is amazing here. Eco advantage on his side as well. He managed to do damage early on with his man-at-arms that kind of helped him have the upper hand in most of the game, to be honest. And despite the fact that Sniper had a better... Actually, Sniper was later into Imperial, but what I want to point out that Sniper had a better map overall. A much better map than his opponent did. To be honest, here, villager counts for Marinelord were also much better. But overall, that KD kind of explains the whole story. I'm not even sure how he managed to pull off that good KD, because he didn't have good mangonel shots. He didn't have particularly amazing engagements either, so I'm not sure how he managed to pull off that villager or that KD, to be honest. That's definitely an amazing kill-death ratio here from these two players. So, with all of this is time to say goodbye to YouTube. So, anyways, this was casted on my Twitch channel, so make sure to check it out if you want. And goodbye, YouTube.